being warned as the Labour government moves to cut the court backlog.
Agency workers are joining Birmingham's bin strike, protesting over pay cuts of up to £8,000 for 150 staff. What is going on there and when will it come to an end?
As the pop star and Wicked actress Ariana Grande is called out by her fans for her dramatic weight loss, we're asking this morning, is it ever OK to comment on somebody's weight?
Allowed into the grounds before it was private, so it's amazing now that it's been opened up for everybody to come in.
The transformation of the full estate is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, curtains from Sandringham, that's King Charles's Sandringham home, are being turned into stockings, luxury stockings no less, for a charity auction. So Charles has said, get rid of these, and here we are with Paul instead. What have you got in sport, my friend?
Well, funny enough, I've made curtains out of my luxury socks. What are the chances? This morning, the World Drivers' Championship will go down to the wire next week now as McLaren let down Lando Norris again. Maybe the Premier League isn't done and dusted yet as Arsenal draw with 10-men Chelsea. West Ham's Lucas Paquetá blames his stupid double descent red card on the FA.
It's a wet and windy start to the week, but is the weather going to feel more festive in the week to come? Find out in your full forecast coming up.
Hello there, very good morning to you on this Monday morning. I am Eamonn Holmes.
I'm Ellie Costello and this is GB News Breakfast.
Well, a happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you all, because we've just got in the Christmas mood overnight. Just have a look at our lovely studio today.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's like we're live from a grotto. If you're listening on the radio, it's basically a very British Christmas, I'd say. There's just Union Jacks everywhere.
What?
There's just Union Jacks everywhere. Look, have you seen the Union Jack baubles?
No, I didn't really
And everything
notice.
is red and blue and white. It's very nice.
You know what?
What?
I think a few people here were stealing baubles last year.
Get out
I
of
do.
there.
agree with that.
I do.
There's not that many
Because
baubles.
I think every now and again, it's like, oh, I wanna... and I think a few were going missing. It wasn't me, but I think it happened. And I think we should keep an eye on the baubles this year.
Well, that's a good point. Do you know our Trick Awards for our
Yeah.
news programmes of the year? We've won it 3 times. Well, there's only 2.
You're kidding me?
We're missing
Look,
one.
and they're beside you. Where did the third one go?
I have no idea.
Wait, see, do you want to say
I have no
anything about
idea. But you should see my tree and my and my shelves.
that? So we've only got 2. Where could the third one be?
When was this? Is this recently that they've gone missing?
No, it's been missing for a while now.
Eamonn's looking at me in a suspicious manner, and I don't
So,
like
Eamonn, you
it.
didn't fancy a little something for your mantelpiece?
Ellie, do you know how many of these I've won?
Because when you spoke to us the other day, I can't remember what you were speaking to us about, but there was a Trick Award in the back of your shot. But I think that was your personal one, because you've got a personal one for Best News Presenter.
What are you talking? Personal one?
You won, because you
I
won
think I've
Best
got
News
14
Presenter.
of them. 15. I remember once saying to the presenting god Des Lynham, I won an award and I was going upstairs, and he said to him, "How many have you won?" And I said, 2. And he said, 14. And he walked past me.
Oh! So where do you keep your trophies? Are they on the mantelpiece, or have you got a little cabinet?
Actually, Eamon, I know for a fact, wears it as a medallion around his don't you?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know.
Or the downstairs
It looks really nice.
You put your Christmas tree up yesterday?
I did, and I really don't like it. So basically,
Why?
I'm having a bit of a creative dilemma. So basically, I've had a gold tree for the last 5 years.
Gold tree?
It's very Essex, I know.
Yeah.
Lots of gold. Gold on gold. And then I pulled it out yesterday, and where it's obviously a fake tree, it's just looking a bit pig-eared now. I think it's molted a lot.
As usual, I've been inventive again.
So I need to invest in a new tree, I think.
No, what you do is you get this LED Santa and a tree and you plug it in. It's hard to explain, but I'll send you a picture of it.
What, just a light-up one?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
That would be a lot easier. Maybe.
Looks terrible, but it would be easy.
Have you put up your tree yet? Have you done your tree yet?
No, next week.
Next week.
Yeah, I'll wait
It's
till
running
December.
late. I feel like everyone put it up yesterday.
OK, well, let's get on with some news this morning. And cross-party politicians are calling for an investigation into the Chancellor over claims she misled the public about the state of finances of the whole country.
Well, Rachel Reeves denies being overly pessimistic to justify tax rises. She insists they were necessary.
But the Office for Budget Responsibility confirmed there was actually a surplus of public funds, not a deficit.
Well, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage says that the Chancellor should be investigated now for potential breaches of the ministerial code.
Former political advisor Oscar Redrop joins us now in the studio. Oscar, I saw her interviewed live yesterday. You probably saw the interview.
Yeah.
And I thought she was very convincing. She certainly believed what she was talking about, which was, yes, but it may have been like that, but it would have been worse if I hadn't have done this and whatever. Where do you stand on it? Did she convince you?
I think in terms of the broadcast round she did yesterday, which would have been incredibly difficult for her, she just about, she professionally got through it, I would say. But the political pain is yet to come, and no broadcast round, no matter how well she kind of ducked and dived and dodged, would have got her out of this mess. It is utterly impossible to see a way that... Look, at the very least, credibility for Rachel Reeves has completely disappeared. And I think, yes, that's in the eyes of the public. When you look at the front pages today, that's clearly coming through with her own cabinet. And when it gets to that point, there's no real way of going back. I mean, yes, that additional kind of headroom, very much prompted by all the tax rises that have come, that has probably settled down the markets. But the markets don't care about us, in a way. They don't care about the voters. They don't care about how much the difficulties of household budgets and the like. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, Rachel, I've said this for a while now, Rachel Reeves and Starmer have been done for quite some time. It was the beginning of the end, I think, a couple of months ago. This has only accelerated that process. I really do think it's that severe at this point.
Can we bring it back to the basics here? Why would she lie? What would the benefit to her be?
To get all that money for those thousands of kids.
But she could play it a different way, couldn't she? And say, oh, I've got this surplus and things are looking better than I thought, and we can use that to fund what we want to do.
No, and we were talking about that before we came on air. So one, that would probably have been strategically the much smarter thing to do, which, you know, when you look at the receipts that we can now check of her record, that isn't her strongest point. But also, there just isn't the will out there for more tax rises, for more welfare. So I think even if she had said, oh, hey, look at this additional money we've got, aren't I doing a great job? You know where that needs to go? That needs to go on the welfare bill. Well, that wouldn't have cut it for people.
Oscar, I'll tell you, Starmer doesn't cut it for me. He irritates the heck out of me. And yesterday, defending this business about children out of poverty, that's what I'm doing. Children who live in rented accommodation with mould on the ceilings and have chest complaints and have to end up in hospital and whatever. And I sit and listen. If I was in charge of the blooming place, I'd be saying, the answer is not to give money out to everybody. The answer is to take the rogue landlords who rent out places like that and stick them in jail. So you get rid of your mould, seal up your damp windows, whatever the heck it happens to be, get it sorted, or you're going to the next.
But that obviously that requires a proactivity and a disciplined, forceful approach from government that we're not going to see. So what's easier? Just other people, just take more money off people and we'll just chuck some money at stuff. And you're right, in terms of the Starmer, this is what's really going to be interesting about this. Because Reeves is in trouble now. I mean, serious, acute trouble. This is not... Sometimes
but she's in trouble, he's in trouble.
It's exactly it. Like, these guys are joined at the hip.
And she made that clear in the rounds yesterday.
Very clear,
which I thought... We're a partnership.
You're so right to identify that. And I remember I kind of tweaked up when I heard that, because I thought that was almost like a veiled threat. Because she knows she's going to come under pressure. And Starmer has a track record of using people as human shields. That ain't going to work with this. So, without being too kind of, intense about it, but we're really at a stage now where all those MPs, your Rayners, your Wes Streetings, all those other candidates who'll be looking at this dire situation in terms of all those front pages, the Chancellor lying. I mean, this is serious stuff, and they will be circling. I think they'll want to wait until the May elections.
Oh, you think it will wait that long?
Potentially, but honestly, this feels so acute for number 10, 11 that May feels 100 million years ago. And I remember that with Boris at number 10, where you'd be looking like, how do we cling on? How do we survive? How do we survive? And something, in 4 months into the future feels like a lifetime, and that's how they will be feeling now. And to think this has all come crashing down in less than, in around 16 months is...
But yesterday, I'll just go back again to her interview. She basically said, I did not lie about the black hole. I did not lie about the tax rises. And I thought she was very believable, whether she's right or not. But she just looked as if she believed in what she was doing. She believed she did the right thing for the country.
Yeah. Look, lie is a really, again, as I realised with Boris, lie is a really, in politics, and voters and viewers might hate this, is actually quite hard to prove sometimes and hard to pin down. So she may very well be believing, like, no, the situation was bad. I wanted more headroom. I haven't lied to anyone. I just wanted to do these right things that a Labour Chancellor would do in a Labour budget.
Because her argument is that 4 billion is still not enough.
Yeah,
right?
quite.
Wouldn't have changed anything in terms of the OBR.
Exactly. But what cannot be denied is that as soon as they went into number 11, 14, 16 months ago, it has just been... They have been rolling the pitch. They have been making excuses. It's always been someone else's fault. I hate to bring it up. She did lie or mislead on her CV. It's just been the rolling of this pitch, and then for the OBR to come out and go, the pitch you've been rolling is not what the full picture is here. I can see why people are turning around and saying, well, she's lied.
And it's not going away. Nigel Farage is reporting her to some big top dog somewhere. I forget who it is.
Ethics watchdog.
Ethics watchdog, that's right.
Sounds a bit made up, doesn't it?
So it ain't going away.
And also,
No.
how do you think the Cabinet feel about all of this? Because they were kept in the dark.
That is, I think, not to undermine Farage, writing to the ethics watchdog, and obviously the Tories are going to roll in behind, putting pressure on her. But for her own cabinet now, to be proactively on a Sunday night, when everyone watching this probably think politicians are hard at work trying to make the country better, to be calling up journalists and briefing against and telling journalists how shoddy a job that Rachel Reeves, number 10 and 11, are doing at the moment, that is incredibly dangerous territory. Now for
But
Rachel
you see,
Reeves.
Oscar, and you've been on the inside, you know these things. Rachel Reeves is not an economist, right? But what a job to be the Chancellor.
Yeah.
So somebody's advising her, and that is obviously the Treasury or whatever it is. So, I mean, she doesn't come up with these ideas. Someone says to her, good idea, Mom, would be to do this and to do that. And she says, oh, yes, how much would that raise for me and whatever. So there's some Egypt somewhere, or a number of them, who's sitting telling her these things, and she's saying, yes, I'll have that one, I'll not have that one. And these guys never seem to leave their jobs.
Yeah, well, there will be a grey kind of group of advisors and civil servants who, if you're not willing to lead at the direction, will do it for you. And what they'll do is they'll have a spreadsheet and they'll go, right, you can make a bit of money here, you can tax them there, tax them here, tax them here, tax them there. And what do you get as a result of it? No growth and pain for people in this country that have already been under a lot of it.
Oscar.
One day you're going to have happy news for us, Oscar.
I will. Well, Kemi was very good, I have to say. Kemi was brilliant, I thought, the other day.
Well, we'll talk about her after 7 o'clock. That's a very good point. She's not missing the mark, is she?
Nope.
No, really, really sounding off. Kemi Badenoch, let us know what you think about what she's saying in retaliation to Rachel Reeves. Now, what are your curtains like?
I don't have curtains. I've got shutters.
Right, okay.
What have you got?
Well,
But you've got fancy ones.
Would I make them into Christmas gifts? Well, King Charles has done just that. He's got a house in Sandringham, and his curtains, the old curtains, are being repurposed And what are they being made into, Ellie?
Luxury festive stockings.
Luxury.
Who knew you could turn curtains into luxury festive stockings?
Well, we're going to find out right now. The 12 Days of Christmas charity auction begins today. It is raising money for the King's Foundation that supports communities, heritage, education and sustainability.
Well, our royal correspondent Cameron Walker has more.
Well, welcome to Dumfries House in Ayrshire, home to King Charles's charity, the King's Foundation, celebrating 35 years this year. And it's home to many community groups, including a local sewing bee, which has been given a very special royal task this Christmas. The group runs weekly, an opportunity to learn traditional skills, but it's more than that for these older ladies. Ashley Douglas, the Future Textiles manager, explains.
It really conquers social isolation. A lot of them have created new friendships. They really are a support network for each other. And there's also lifelong learning skills, so they are continually learning and able to pass on that skill set to others in their family.
For 10 years in February I started, and it was just to learn a skill to get out among company.
The group's been busy making luxurious festive stockings to be auctioned off to raise money for the King's Foundation.
It was about 3 hours in total. From the start, we'd iron all the fabric first and then cut it out.
And the finished products are now on display in Dumfries House. But there's a twist. Well, this is the family parlour here at Dumfries House, otherwise known as the Yellow Drawing Room. And although these Christmas stockings are yellow, they're not actually from here. They're from another royal residence, Sandringham House, believed to be from one of the living rooms or sitting rooms there from the time of Queen Elizabeth II.
Did you come at it from just something you felt you wanted to express?
As Prince of Wales, he led a group to buy Dumfries House and its contents in 2008. Since then, His Majesty's transformed the grounds and outbuildings to bring back training and job opportunities for young people and bringing back traditional skills to the area in an effort to reverse the decline sparked by mine closures in the 1980s. The sewing ladies remember it well.
We were never allowed into the grounds before. It was private. So it's amazing now that it's been opened up for everybody to come in.
The transformation of the full estate is just unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing what's been happening.
The 12 Days of Christmas charity auction begins today, with members of the public wanting to own a piece of royal history encouraged to visit the King's Foundation website. Cameron Walker, GB News, at Dumfries House in Ayrshire.
We'll be raising money for the King's Foundation, so on all the good work that it does. So thank you to Cameron Walker for that.
Who looked lovely in his Christmas jumper.
Yes, but he looks lovely anyway.
He always does, it's very true. Oh, speaking of Christmas jumpers, will I be able to find this story now? Don't know if I will. It's in the Times this morning. A vicar has been speaking about Christmas jumpers and saying that the Lord doesn't judge. If you want to wear a tacky Christmas jumper, not that Cameron's is, but you know those ones with the lights and the baubles and things like that. This is the Dean of Salisbury, actually, saying that God is tasteless and doesn't make aesthetic judgments. He's OK with everybody wearing tacky jumpers at Christmas. He doesn't mind.
There you go. Thank you, God. Thank you now to Tom Morgan for the weather update.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather update from the Met Office. It's much milder out there today, but it's a wet and windy start to the week with coastal gales, and there's an amber warning for heavy rain in place across parts of Wales this morning. So a wet and blustery picture for many parts of England and Wales, southern and eastern parts of Scotland as well. That rain particularly heavy out towards the west. The higher ground of Wales and western parts of England could easily see 100 millimetres of rain by the end of today. That's almost half a month's worth of rain falling in some spots. Brighter for some across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Some sunshine here, but also a few showers. But it's the winds in the south that will also make it feel pretty unpleasant. Gales around the coasts. Despite temperatures reaching 13 or 14 degrees, it's going to feel pretty unpleasant. And there will be further spells of pretty heavy rain through the course of this evening, particularly across the West Country, parts of Wales as well. Those bright shades of colour on the map here indicate some really intense downpours, so some flooding on the roads and some transport disruption is quite likely. Do keep an eye on our weather warnings leave yourself extra time for your commute home this evening. Something a little bit drier across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the day. Some clearer skies here too, but also the chances from showers. Winds easing down across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will stay pretty blustery across many parts of England and Wales. Further spells of rain through the course of this evening, but the weather warnings will elapse as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And by the end of the night, the heaviest and the most persistent rain will probably be confined to some northeastern coastal parts of the UK. So turning drier and clearer, and a colder night to come, although generally speaking staying just about frost-free. Now for Tuesday, it's looking a lot drier and brighter for many parts of the UK. There will be some showers around, and those will be fairly frequent in some southern and western areas. The risk of some hail and thunder, as well as that across the northwest of Scotland, will have some fairly strong and blustery southwesterly winds. But eastern parts of the UK may well stay largely dry, with some sunny spells. And temperatures on Tuesday around average for the time of year, highs of 10 or 11 degrees.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Well, what about the football over the weekend and yesterday? Man United coming from behind to beat Crystal Palace. Beautiful sunshine it was as well.
Oh, it was a lovely day yesterday, yeah.
And Arsenal nicking a draw with Chelsea. What does it all mean? Paul Coit will tell you.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What we're going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates,
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5.
You got me. You got me good there.
Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah.
Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Anyway, Formula One yesterday, amongst the many, many pieces of sport that Paul's got to talk us through. And what does it mean for the Brit Lando Norris?
Well, he could have become the world champion yesterday.
Oh.
But he didn't. But this is down to McLaren, his team, who seem to have let him down for the second week running.
What way do you mean let him down? Like the car blew up or something?
Well, last week there was a problem with the bottom of the car, which was too low. Do you remember that? The 0.07. That's right, 0.07 millimetres. So then they were disqualified, him and Oscar Piastri. And then it was bad decisions. Basically, McLaren were in control. Norris had dropped from second to third on the start, but then Oscar Piastri, so he was in the team who was leading, but then there was a safety car that was deployed because of an accident that happened, and then it affected whether they were going to take a pit stop or not. I could make this really complicated, but I won't. So they decided against it. It basically meant that they could not win the race. Everybody took on new tyres except for McLaren. Then Norris was fourth, then down to fourth. Now, this is how it looks now. So I've worked this out, and I've spent many hours this morning working this out. So for Lando Norris to win the World Championship...
Which could be next week.
Yeah, it's the last race next week.
In Abu Dhabi.
In Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi. So that's where the final race is going to be. So if Lando wins, he'll be world champion. Or he comes second, or he comes third, he will be world champion. It doesn't matter what happens in the rest of it.
Right.
But if he comes fourth or fifth, he will be champion unless Max Verstappen wins.
Right.
That means Verstappen.
Did Verstappen win yesterday?
Yes, that's right, because he's not... It seemed like he was out of it, but now he's having this run at the end. Now, if Lando Norris comes sixth or seventh, he will be champion unless Max Verstappen or Oscar Piastri wins.
Now,
so three different drivers could win. Now I'm confused.
Does this make it all interesting then?
Yes, I'm trying my best, Eamonn.
It's very good.
So, Ellie, in the 7 o'clock hour, I'm going to ask you to repeat all of those for me.
Do you think you can get us tickets to Abu Dhabi next weekend?
I agree with you.
I think that would be a great idea.
Quite good. So
and then we can talk about it on Monday.
You know what? I think it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Why don't we get on the phone to...
Then we'd show a lot of interest.
Essential.
Yeah.
We'll get on the phone to Lando.
Well, I mean, the times that we've already said we want to do the show from the World Cup.
Yeah.
I've said the Ashes.
We're never going to be at work again.
Last year, England playing in the West Indies. None of this has happened. You have more influence, Eamonn, than probably
That's what I always say to him. I say he has to take it up.
The Ashes, well, I think they're going to play with a pink ball and go into the evening and things.
That's right.
Really changing the way it sort of is normally portrayed.
That's right.
I'm not sure about that, yeah.
But it's a pity they lose all that tradition behind.
Should we talk about the football?
Yes, we will. Manchester United...
Oh, no, you're not going to start with Manchester United, are you?
Well, what an amazing... They go 1-0 down away, they come back, they win 2-1.
At Crystal Palace.
I don't think the system is right still. We don't play with any strikers. We haven't got any strikers, really. They're all injured. Whoever they are. But anyway, a win's a win.
A win's a win.
And at Palace,
we didn't win.
It's difficult to get a win at Palace.
It is, absolutely. So a win is a win, and it's a good result. It's a bad first half for Man United, but a win is a win. They were better in the second half.
But meanwhile, the Chelsea-Arsenal game, everybody's eyes were on that. So it's all going well for Chelsea.
Yep.
And they go ahead.
Needle... argy-bargy. It was one of those sorts of games. Moises Caicedo got sent off for a dodgy tackle, which I think was a red card. People are saying...
So that was Arsenal's big break.
It should have been their big break, and they should probably have gone on, but... they didn't. Chelsea were really good, so therefore 1-1. I don't know whether Arsenal are now looking at every result that they don't win, thinking, well, you know what, these are points dropped. But it's not over yet.
Well, it's
too many people saying that this season is over. I don't believe it is.
In what way?
Because Arsenal are so good. Everybody said, oh, it's going to be Arsenal's. It's going to be Arsenal's. And I've even fallen into this trap, but I don't think it is over yet.
So it could be Chelsea.
And it could be Manchester City. Arsenal are on 30 points. Man City are second. They're only 5 points behind. Chelsea are 6 points behind. And then Aston Villa are 6 points behind. So it's not like we're getting to Christmas, they've run away with it. It's not over
all to play
yet.
for.
It is all to play for. Absolutely.
So also we have with Liverpool 2-0 win over West Ham. Sort of turns their fortunes a bit, which is good. But West Ham, it was a sad day yesterday for West Ham.
Yeah, Billy Bonds. Billy Bonds, their great captain. He's the guy that took over from Bobby Moore as captain of West Ham. 799 games he's played for West Ham.
And the longest-serving, that makes him the longest-serving player.
Yep, more games than anybody else.
Oh, wow.
And the thing is, this happened on, and you know, it reminds me of when Jimmy Greaves died as well with Spurs, because it was a Sunday morning, and it's the same thing with Billy Bonds as well. So obviously West Ham had to have a tribute to him. They did the minute's applause, which is nice. I still prefer the minute's silence, I think, which is more respectful. I think Billy Bonds, it's nice that they applaud to say thank you for everything that he did for West Ham, because he was West Ham through and through, even though he did come from South London, by the way, and then we used to travel up, but lifted the FA Cup twice, 1975, 1980. I mean, there are 3 West Ham fans we've got in the green room at the moment. But it was a nice tribute. I'm sure there'll be more because it was so last minute and so unexpected. Yeah. But an absolute legend of West Ham.
So he died suddenly, didn't he?
Yeah, it was on Saturday night, we believe. But then I'll tell you more about Lucas Paquetá and the crazy red card. I can tell you that.
Crazy red cards coming next. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Paul. Appreciate that. Time now for a brand new Great British Giveaway competition. Tell us more, Ellie.
Yeah, this is the first time we're reading it as well. Your chance to win our biggest cash prize to date. Wow, an incredible £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours in the new year. How amazing would that be? Let's have a look at all the details.
It's the greatest cash prize of the Great British Giveaway so far. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash to spend on anything you like, making 2026 your greatest year to date. That could get you that brand new car, extend and improve your home, take you away on that bucket list holiday, or just give you some peace of mind over the coming months. For a chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed. That would be a good prize, won't it, for the new year? Now, if you're travelling to work or school this morning, here is your traffic and travel update.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Road users near Auchincross are urged to exercise caution on the A77 due to flooding impacting the carriageway. On the A55 Britannia Bridge, high winds continue to pose challenges until further notice. The M48 westbound between Junction 1 and Junction 2 in South Gloucestershire faces significant road management issues with all lanes closed, expected to clear by 7 this morning today. And on the trains, Great Western Railway services are disrupted between Portsmouth and Southsea and Portsmouth Harbour. Northern train services are replaced by buses between Corkicle and Whitehaven. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
.32 is the time still to come this morning. Which cartoon character has been labelled as a bad role model?
Well, we're going to find out that and much more with Chris and Dawn, who are feeling festive. Is that a West Ham scarf you've got there? Of course, yeah, of course. That's after this short break.
I'm Michelle Dewberry, this is Jubes & Co with you.
Hello everyone, Patrick Christie is here. GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Access the stories that matter to you. Take the GB News family with you on any device. And as long as you have an internet connection, tune in to GB News anywhere on the planet or beyond. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here,
It's the real world. Am I allowed to talk now? No, that's it. This is where it matters. Real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, DC.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Dawn and Chris are with us today to have a look at the stories that are getting them going in the newspapers today. Nice to see you both. We're going to have to start with the Chancellor, I think, Dawn. And Nigel Farage, I think he has already reported her to the ethics watchdog yesterday.
Yeah, the papers today, literally every front page has a story about Rachel Reeves on it. And it's interesting, they have all reverted to type. The left-wing papers have gone more supportive and the right-wing papers, obviously, the opposite.
Let me ask you, Dawn. Right.
Yes, Eamonn.
Embarrassing question. Looking at her interviews yesterday, she did a big live one at BBC at 9 o'clock or so. Do you believe her?
No, not at all.
Well, I have to say, I looked at her and I thought, I could be naive on this, but she didn't look to me as if she was telling lies or deliberately dodging things.
Well, the thing is with Rachel Reeves, I mean, from day one, I've thought she's either incredibly stupid and she does not understand economics or what the OBR has said, or she's lying. There can't be any other reason.
All right.
And I don't think she's a stupid woman. So therefore, I think she has to be lying, and lying is a very strong word. But Rachel Reeves, when she was in opposition, accused literally everybody from the Downing Street cat upwards of being a liar. So she's used that word a lot, and I just think it's like, well, I would just wanted to increase the fiscal headroom, da 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 da. The point with this story is, Eamonn, she said there was a black hole.
Yeah.
She knew there wasn't. I don't care about how much headroom she needed or whatever, da 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 da. But she said there was a black hole. There wasn't a black hole. She knew that, and her boss, Keir Starmer, knew that. So there is no excuse. So she has been reported, front page of the Mail today, by Nigel Farage, and she must face sleaze probe. And he's not the only one that's reporting her. She is in for a very, very tough week. She's going to face questioning in the House. She's been reported to several standards committees over her behaviour, and I just don't know. There is a black hole involved in this. It's the one she carries on digging.
It was all about getting more cash for these reforms, these family reforms, the cap that was on 2 children now being lifted. What do you think?
Well, I think she's been economical with actuality. I think is the posh parlance. But what's new? I mean, the political class are economical. They have their slants. They have their constituents. It's obvious she's going into bat for those people who are out of work and needing benefits. This budget was for those people. And also, like all of us, the country's finances and my own particular home finances are obviously vast different things, but any sort of look at your budget is a snapshot on the particular day. So, if I'm being kind, maybe on the particular day that she started writing her presentation, there was some sort of black hole. Prior to the OBR making her realise, no, Miss Reeves, Chancellor, that's not quite right. And she went with what she prepared as opposed to... And, I mean, I'm trying to be...
You're trying to be very nice.
But to be fair, the OBR gave 3 forecasts, and it was in the 3rd forecast, which is the situation that we're now in now. So
Yeah, but even in the 2nd forecast, there was a budget, a headroom of 2 billion that went up to 4 billion. It was going upwards, the being in the black, as it were.
I mean, she didn't think that was enough, though.
No, I get that. I understand that.
Well,
I
it
do
wasn't enough to give
understand
16
that
billion.
reasoning.
It wasn't enough to give 16 billion away to...
OK, here's the thing, right? If that's what she wanted to do, increase the amount that she could give to the welfare state, NHS spending, etc., etc., why not stand at the dispatch box and say that?
100%.
Why not say, OK, we're actually not doing too bad, we actually have got some fiscal headroom here, but because we are a Labour government, we want to give more to the welfare state, we want to give more to the NHS, therefore we are increasing that
totally
headroom.
agree with you,
Just
John.
say that.
Why can't you speak real language, real words?
They want to do Labour.
Because she wasn't elected on that. Starmer and Reeves were not elected on that ticket. So that's why she's not actually saying, actually, we're going to be far left of the centre that we stood on.
Because the manifesto was economical with the truth as well.
He gets all my threepennies, so he does. And, you know, he's out yesterday doing his thing about, I care about the sociability of people. I care about the conditions that poor people live in, and they end up in hospital because they've got mould on the inside of their windows and on their walls, and this is going to lift people out of poverty. No, it's not. It's not going to fix the damp and the mould in their homes and whatever.
No.
If you want that sorted, get it sorted. Say to the rogue landlords, get it done or you're ending up in the nick.
Yeah, and you know the people that would be sorting those problems, that would be sorting the dam, would be sorting the houses that are in disrepair, are the builders, are the working people of this country who do get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in this weather and go out there and do a full day's graft for not a lot of money. They're the ones that you should be helping as well. They're the ones that would be working, paying these extra taxes and really suffering.
Okay.
I thought Labour for the working people.
Yeah. What I did think was interesting yesterday was Rachel Reeves, dragging the Prime Minister into all of this too, saying he knew about this as well. He gave the green light. He backed her in all of this.
He's the boss.
He described them as a partnership.
He's the boss.
If she goes,
he has to
100%.
go total.
Right,
Absolutely.
let's move on and talk about juries and all. Everybody getting their knickers in a twist about whether there should be a jury at cases or not. I personally don't care. Right? I don't care. A judge can sit there and say, yeah, guilty, innocent, thank you, whatever. But why do I need a jury?
Well, you need a jury to make sure that you are being
spending a lot of money, wasting a lot of time. There's 80,000 backlog in cases. Why do I need a jury for?
It's justice, isn't it?
Yeah,
Being judged by your peers.
That's exactly
when the judges appear, guilty, innocent.
No, the judge is not your peer. The judge has been to private school, has been to Oxbridge, and doesn't know what it's like to live in Belfast or London N9.
We have them in Belfast, single judge courts.
You do?
Yeah, you're coming at it from a different perspective.
They're called block courts, so we're quite used to them.
Yeah. But the idea, you have a jury of your peers because they might have some sense of what it's like to be living in your scenario.
Right. Have you ever sat on a jury?
I'd love to, but no, not yet.
You'd love to see. I would hate. It would just absolutely ruin my life.
Like to do
I haven't got the time. I haven't got the trouble.
I've been called up, but obviously working as the editor of a national newspaper, I managed to get out of it twice. I've been asked.
Why would you want to get out of it, Dawn?
Well, there's lots of places. I mean, see, somebody like me, I'd say, well, I can't sit in a jury because if we're doing a murder trial and he gets off, he's going to come and kill me or whatever. You know, so lots of excuses.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it can in any case. But there's several things with this story, right? First of all, David Lammy, this wasn't again in the manifesto. No one has mentioned this whatsoever. Suddenly,
Why
David...
do you care so much about it?
Because to Chris's point slightly, because judges are people, they're human beings like us. They have opinions. I know they're meant to go by the letter of the law, but they don't. I mean, I went through the Leveson inquiry as editor of a newspaper, and I stood literally in the dock for doing my job. I hadn't done anything wrong, by the way. My paper was one of those ones that was clearly doing anything wrong. But I looked at Justice Leveson, ironically, and he was forming opinions on his own personal opinions about which newspapers he read, which newspaper didn't read, you know, whether you're a tabloid, da-da-da. Not saying he was doing anything wrong, of course he wasn't, but they are people, they have opinions.
You have blind spots. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. So you have a complete blind spot to the experience of that person that's in the dock. So, you know... You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what the experience is. You don't know all the things that might have led up to some of the actions that are taken. You've got to take that into opinion. Well, your jury can do so.
Yeah, David Lemmy's really changed his tune on this in the last 12 months.
Exactly.
So.
I mean,
just 12 months ago, he was saying this is a pillar of our democracy and equal to our constitution.
There's always a tweet.
Yes, my lord.
Right, I'm making a decision.
Guilty is charged.
Right, we're going to the break. The guys going to be back right after that. We're going to give you your European sunny destinations or not sunny destinations. Here we go.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hi there. If you're off to the Mediterranean in the next few days, there will be a lot of dry weather to be enjoyed, but there will also be some heavy showers in places. And across Iberia and Madeira, we have got this cold front pushing through on Tuesday, so some gusty winds and heavy rain for a time. Thunderstorms following to Portugal as well. Otherwise, across the central Med, there will be some scattered heavy showers and thunderstorms, but mostly dry across Greece and Turkey, some warm spells of sunshine here, and quite a changeable outlook for the rest of the week, but temperatures around average.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain's Newsroom, weekday mornings from 9:30.
Flossie, how do you think your peers would react if, from now on, they were never, ever allowed to bring their phone into school?
Well, I think the big thing is really, I mean, I went to school yesterday after obviously doing BBC News, and surprisingly to me, all of my friends were saying, look, we completely agree with you, you're so totally doing the right thing. Obviously, it is a very sensitive topic. You know, obviously I'm going to have people saying, stop what you're doing.
Don't take my phone away from me.
I would hate myself if I was in primary, secondary school. But realistically, the thing is, now I'm coming to realise I really wish I just didn't have a phone.
Yeah.
I am addicted to my phone now, I will admit that. I really wish I wasn't. So hopefully as well, if phones are banned in secondary schools, parents usually buy them for secondary school because everyone gets them. So hopefully that will stagger, you know, when parents buy their kids' phones, which may break, you know, the level of addiction.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I didn't have a phone, I really wish I didn't, because, you know, I keep on saying to myself, where would I be now if I didn't have a phone?
You said that people are now talking to each other on the bus because your school has moved to a stricter ban.
So my school is now completely smartphone free on anywhere where the school has a duty of care. So, yeah, it was really surprising to see kids, you know, talking and chatting rather than
normally
just
they would
being on
text
their
each other,
phones.
or they'd be on
Just staring at their phones.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, I do hope you're very successful because it's such an important campaign. Will, Ewing and Flossie, thank you so much. Yeah.
Why can't they just take a stand? They've done it in Australia.
It might help with the
They've done it in Australia.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, though.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
French fry at the moment. I mean, you're meant to be eating that, Ellie. You've got married.
Ellie's just announced to us that she feels peckish.
I am hungry.
And I'm thinking if she wants some toast or something like that. But what do you actually want?
A burger.
Burger.
A burger. It's because I've just read this story about burgers, and you know when you start thinking.
Well,
you have to go to Nick if you want one of those.
Well, let's talk about this story about burgers. This is in Wandsworth Prison.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting their knickers in a twist because somebody's ordered takeaway and it's got through. I don't know. How does this happen?
Well, it's dropped off by drone with the drugs.
Yeah. I mean, but that's it. I mean, when you think, or when I think of prison, I think of deprivation,
yes.
liberty, incarceration. I think of punishment. I think of reform.
Not a chicken takeaway.
But no, not a chicken takeaway. Excuse me. Not is it sex. You can have, so you can order sex in your cell.
What?
Well, what? Some of the female.
Guards?
Thank you very much.
Prison officers?
They can do those sort of conjugal favours, fast food, drugs. I'm not saying no, all done by the females, but drugs, cigarettes. I mean, it's just amazing. And so this story is about a fast food outlet, Chicken Cottage, their products being consumed and filmed on social media. The guys films on social media eating chicken nuggets, burgers. So one for Ellie, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just incredible to think that all this goes on.
We'd need to get Ellie nicked and put in prison first.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no deprivation at all, then?
No. So actually, for some people, I mean, it might be a viable option to go to Nick. Especially, imagine if you got like 5 million quid, you've nicked it, you nicked it, but you don't tell anybody, you stash it away. You know what, I'll do my nick for 5 years, and you come back out, you've got your 5 million quid. In the meantime, you're having your cigar, nothing else, but your cottage chicken and your cigar, leaving it large for 5 years. Yeah. And you never know, you might get a visit as well.
The point of this story, isn't this the prison where they've accidentally released at least 3 people
that's
recently?
correct.
I mean, it's like, why you want to be released by the sounds of it? It's like, just stay here, fine.
You're right, though. It's suggested there is drones dropping off.
It is drones dropping off stuff off.
Well, it's drones, but it's also been
officers
as well.
Right. In the 3 minutes left, there's 2 stories I want to do. One, Dawn, is about this new party that Jeremy Corbyn was expected to lead. It's called, well, you tell us.
Yes, it's Your Party. After months and months and months of what we call ourselves, they finally decided on It's Your Party. They had their inaugural conference in Liverpool over the weekend. Zara Sultana, who's one of the joint starter-uppers of this Your Party, refused to attend on the first day because she'd fallen out with Jeremy Corbyn, the other joint setter-upper. It's been beset by problems from day one. You've had 2 of the original founding members resign over the party's trans issue. Zara Sultana finally went back in, and they've agreed now how they're going to run the party. Jeremy Corbyn was on the side of having a single leadership, i.e. him. Zara was on the side of having a committee running things like that ever worked. And she's won, so it's going to be run by a committee now, and it's called Your Party.
OK, right. Now, the big story, Peppa Pig, Chris. Peppa Pig's father is a bad role model, says David Gandhi.
Yeah, Peppa Pig.
You have got little ones, though, to be fair.
Well, see, when you and I were younger, the man was the head of the household, and the woman was the head of the home, heart of the home. And a house was not a home without a woman who made it nice and comfortable. But you look for leadership from your fella, and protect, provide, nurture, and guide would be the husband's role. But since the 70s, 80s, perpetually, what Gandhi is saying is that men are portrayed as being silly, incompetent, untrustworthy, aggressive. I
did not say a word.
No, but I speak body language as well as English language. and I'm actually with him. That actually it behoves us little to show one side of the gender divide as being incompetent. It takes... Well, I mean, I know there are single-parent households, but in a perfect world, a mother and father bring up their 2.2 children, and you've both got different roles that are equally important.
Yeah, he's saying Peppa Pig's dad basically is an idiot.
Yes.
And it's a confusion about toxic masculinity and young boys being confused about what their role is in life.
Yeah, but being a bloke is not toxic. Going out to work, like you said earlier on, about those plumbers going out to work, it's not toxic. It's doing the business.
He's doing the business. What do you think about it? What's Peppa's daddy called?
Peppa Pig.
Mr. Pig?
That's a question of Chris Agabusi. You should know that. You know all the cast members.
That's very, very true. It's a long time ago.
Daddy Pig.
Stupid pig. Anyway, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you for watching and listening. We're going to bring you the weather forecast and we'll be back right after that.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather update from the Met Office. It's much milder out there today, but it's a wet and windy start to the week with coastal gales, and there's an amber warning for heavy rain in place across parts of Wales this morning. So a wet and blustery picture for many parts of England and Wales, southern and eastern parts of Scotland as well. That rain particularly heavy out towards the west. The higher ground of Wales and western parts of England could easily see 100 millimetres of rain by the end of today. That's almost half a month's worth of rain falling in some spots. Brighter for some across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Some sunshine here, but also a few showers. But it's the winds in the south that will also make it feel pretty unpleasant. Gales around the coasts. Despite temperatures reaching 13 or 14 degrees, it's going to feel pretty unpleasant. And there will be further spells of pretty heavy rain through the course of this evening, particularly across the West Country, parts of Wales as well. Those bright shades of colour on the map here indicate some really intense downpours, so some flooding on the roads and some transport disruption is quite likely. Do keep an eye on our weather warnings and leave yourself extra time for your commute home this evening. Something a little bit drier across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the day. Some clearer skies here too, but also the chances from showers. Winds easing down across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will stay pretty blustery across many parts of England and Wales. Further spells of rain through the course of this evening, but the weather warnings will elapse as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And by the end of the night, the heaviest and the most persistent rain will probably be confined to some northeastern coastal parts of the UK. So turning drier and clearer, and a colder night to come, although generally speaking staying just about frost-free. Now for Tuesday, it's looking a lot drier and brighter for many parts of the UK. There will be some showers around, and those will be fairly frequent in some southern and western areas. The risk of some hail and thunder, as well as that across the northwest of Scotland, will have some fairly strong and blustery southwesterly winds. But eastern parts of the UK may well stay largely dry, with some sunny spells, and temperatures on Tuesday around average for the time of year, highs of 10 or 11 degrees.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for our more than 2 million YouTube subscribers and more than 2 billion views. That is Britain watching, sharing and making its voice heard louder than ever before.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Be cautious on the A77 near Auchincross due to flooding. The A45 Britannia Bridge has high winds until further notice. The M1 northbound in Leeds is down to one lane between junctions 46 and 47 due to a collision, expecting normal traffic by 7:15 a.m. The M48 westbound in South Gloucestershire is experiencing major disruptions with all lanes closed between junctions 1 and 2. Greater London sees lane closures on the A13 eastbound due to a collision, clearing by 9 a.m. And on the trains, disruptions are expected across the Great Northern Network and between Portsmouth and Southsea and Portsmouth Harbour. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's the big one. Your chance to win a whopping £85,000 in tax-free cash. The largest cash prize we've given away to date. That's like over £7,000 a month extra in your bank account each month for 12 whole months. That's a year of yes. Yes to holidays, yes to treats, yes to shopping trips, yes to home improvements. For a chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Good morning. The Chancellor faces a sleaze probe as MPs criticise her.
Nigel Farage has reported Rachel Reeves to an ethics watchdog after she misled the public about the economy. She denies that as ministers demand answers.
Well, the Prime Minister hits back at critics, insisting Labour's economic plan will take years to deliver.
The Labour MP Tulip Siddiq has been sentenced to 2 years in prison in Bangladesh over corruption allegations. Again, she denies it.
The Justice Secretary David Lammy is warned that limiting jury trials could undermine free speech as the Labour government moves to cut the court backlog.
Agency workers joins Birmingham's bin strike. Yes, it's still going on. They're protesting over pay cuts of up to £8,000 for 150 staff.
Yeah, here on the picket line, agency workers joining council workers for the first time, being described as an unprecedented situation, leaving residents worrying what this means for their bins.
As the pop star and Wicked actress Ariana Grande is called out by fans for her dramatic weight loss, we're asking this morning, is it ever okay to comment on someone's weight?
Allowed into the grounds before, it was private, so it's amazing now that it's been opened up for everybody to come in.
The transformation of the full estate is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Curtains from King Charles's Sandringham home are being turned into luxury Christmas stockings for a charity auction. Would you buy one?
Yes. In sport, Drivers' Championship will go down to the wire next week as McLaren let down Lando Norris again. Well, maybe the Premier League isn't done and dusted just yet. Arsenal draw with 10-man Chelsea, and West Ham's Lucas Paquetá blames his stupid double descent red card on the Football Association.
It's a wet and windy start to the week, but is the weather going to feel more festive in the week to come? Find out in your full forecast coming up.
And coming up until 9:30, it's me, Eamonn Holmes.
And me, Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast.
And we're all Christmassy in the studio today. We hope you've noticed, and we've got our we've got a nice mixture, as you can see there, that the overall theme is red, white and blue, really.
Yeah.
Balls.
And nice GB News baubles. You spotted those?
Very nice. So are you feeling Christmassy yet? Here we are, first day of December.
I feel so festive. I put up my tree yesterday, we put on all the music.
Do you do the music when you put the tricks? I like to
You
do
have
that
to.
too. Yeah.
I didn't have a little Bailey's hot chocolate or anything.
Did you not?
I should have done, really. I feel like I missed a trick there.
I've got that now.
Have you?
Yeah.
On the go?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. But I was listening to All I Want for Christmas Is You. Obviously, Mariah Carey, Queen of Christmas. Now...
Does she sing anything else?
Yeah, she's got other songs.
Has she?
I can't think of any right now, but she does.
High-pitched wailing. Sorry, Mariah. Sorry.
She's got a fantastic voice. Anyway, all you need is one song. This song, right? All I Want for Christmas Is You, released in 1994. Guess how much she makes in royalties every single year?
So she makes money? Because she didn't write it, though, did she?
Don't know, but she makes the royalties, apparently. So tell me, how much does she make in a year?
$1 million?
Up.
Yeah. 2 million.
Really?
Up.
5?
£3 million in royalties.
A year?
a year.
Mhm.
So in 2023, guess how much she'd made so far in millions?
Because of the song?
This one song.
Oh, my goodness. 40, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, $100 billion.
£75 million.
75
million pounds. It pays to be Christmassy.
Well, Noddy Holder does, doesn't he?
Ho.
Yep. We need to record a song and get it out there.
Noddy. So, yeah. Noddy would
I think he never says how much, but says I think it's got to be close to $1 million, surely.
We should find out.
Because if you write the song, you're there.
You need to get busy.
But we don't do that anymore, do we?
I don't think we do.
So Mariah Carey's an old hit there, and Noddy, just absolute classic. And I'm lucky I lived through the 70s, and, you know, Slade had Christmas hits. Every band had Christmas hits.
Yeah,
everything.
it was always the way. You have a great Christmas song. Whereas I think they try it now, but they never really,
Music isn't the same now.
They're not
It's like
evergreen,
music's
are they?
Rubbish now. It's just all TikTok songs.
Exactly. So you don't get the Christmas hits that you used to.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're missing, kids?
No.
I
Yeah.
say kids, but no kid's going to be out of bed at this time of the morning watching us today anyway.
Well, not yet. Maybe a little bit early for that.
Speak to you later, Paul. Thank you very much indeed. Newswise, top story, cross-party politicians are calling for an investigation into the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, over claims that she misled you, the public, about the state of Britain's finances.
Well, Rachel Reeves denies being overly pessimistic to justify tax rises. She insists they were necessary.
However, the Office for Budget Responsibility confirmed there was actually a surplus of public funds, not a deficit. Rachel Reeves said the surplus wasn't big enough, but...
Well, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage says the Chancellor should be investigated now for potential breaches of the ministerial code.
Well, let's remind ourselves that on many occasions she misrepresented the state of the economy, and then you decide.
£22 billion black hole. A black hole left to me by the previous Conservative government. £22 billion black hole in the public finances left by the party opposites.
Well, you make up your own mind. Oscar Reddrop, political advisor, what does that say to you or do to you? Does it make you think she's definitely misled us?
I think, look, I think misled is probably just about right. I think lying is quite hard to prove in politics. But look, in really simple terms, because people are going, well, why did she? You know, well, why create all this doom and gloom, this crisis, this early morning press conference in mid-November and the months before it, you know, black hole this, black hole that. She needed to justify and roll the pitch for putting her hand in our pockets, taking additional cash, taking additional tax revenue, and placating and soothing, if you like, the backbench, soft left MPs who have been, you know, rebelling against her on things like welfare and the two-child benefit cap. That's what happened. She needed to justify to the public the need.
And let's say, right, she then gave herself a few quid to play with. She satisfies her the political pressure on her backbenches. So what's wrong with that? I mean, what sort of headroom does that give her? Just gives her something comfortable, does it not?
Yeah, and I think the market's like that. I think they've seen the additional headroom, so it's like a big green tick for the markets. The markets don't care about us, ultimately, in a way. They don't care about the difficulties that we go through as households and the like. And when she made the decision, or at least she wasn't able, because of the pressure from her own party and her own MPs, to slash that welfare spending, she only had somewhere to go. And that bit of headroom that she did have, that the OBR told her that she had...
Now, there we see Kemi Badenoch, leader of the Conservative Party, and really having a go at Rachel Reeves. Is she impressive in doing that, or has she gone too far? What do you think?
No, she was outstanding last week, and it's been a tough gig for Kemi, and people have written her off already. I kind of get why. There hasn't been a whole load of cut-through, and Nigel Farage and Reform just ascend, cut-through. But she was outstanding. She can... And the criticism, oh, did she go too far? Was she too... No, she was representing the anger and the frustration that is out there. And that's what you want from leaders at times. Not always, but you want them to be a messenger for the anger and hurt that is out there. And she did it superbly. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. We don't see it enough, But the best, when Kemi is firing on all cylinders, she cannot be touched. She is a very powerful politician, and that's what people saw last week.
She made a good point, I thought, over the weekend as well on the media rounds, saying, look, this is the rough and tumble of politics, and Rachel Reeves and the like can dish it out, but they can't take it.
Oh, for sure, and being really objective, I was at the end of it, at the other end of it with Boris, with Starmer, for example. Starmer was brutal. It was always personal. It was always playing the man, not the ball, and that's kind of OK, I guess, because that's sometimes how it works, and it's a bit...
So, do you know, I often think, you look at Kemi Badenoch and, as you say, she hit the target. There's no doubt about it with her retort to all of this. So then, if she bumps into Rachel Reeves in the corridor, do they go, hi, Rachel, how are you? Everything OK? And Rachel says, yes, Kemi, da-da-da-da. What are you doing for Christmas? Do they chat like that as if it didn't happen? I mean, I've seen this in Northern Ireland with Loyalist and Republican politicians, and you think, oh, God, they really hate each other. And they'll shake hands and they'll talk and they'll have a laugh and a joke and they'll move on. They'll say awful things about each other on television, but it's sort of real life can be different. I'm not saying it is different, but it can be different.
Yeah, there is elements of that. I know some politicians and leaders of the opposition can do that. Others genuinely despise each other. So I'm not quite sure what it is with Kemi and Rachel Reeves.
It did look awkward yesterday. I don't know if you saw on the media rounds, facing opposite each other, and Rachel Reeves couldn't make eye contact with Kemi Badenoch. But Kemi Badenoch looked very relaxed.
Well, that's a sign of where she's at. Kemi Badenoch is probably feeling she's growing into the role and feeling more confident, whereas Rachel Reeves, I think, with every passing day, is probably realising, if I'm honest, I'm not quite sure I can handle this. That's the impression you get at this point.
It's very telling, don't you think, that there are 3 cabinet ministers, this is literally just in the Times, which is in front of me right now, 3 cabinet ministers briefing about this is a disaster, this is frustrating, this is weak and incompetent.
So they're getting in touch with the press.
Yeah, and they're briefing against the Chancellor.
Yeah, right. Well, is she history?
I think it's been the beginning of the end for some time. I think this only...
But if she goes, Starmer goes, surely.
He will try... I mean, if there's one thing, he's like those old Nokia phones that you just cannot smash sometimes. Yeah. If there's one, he will cling on. If Rachel does go, because the pressure gets too much and credibility's gone, he will try and cling on for as long as he can. Of course he will. But the fact, just for people watching this, the cabinet, these people who are in charge of, and even more now, we've been taxed even more, billions of our pounds, billions of our money. On a Sunday night, they're not thinking about the week ahead, how to make the country better, what can they do for our priorities, all the rest of it. Can they sort the bins out in Birmingham? Or whatever it may be. They are briefing against their number 10 and 11.
Well, you see, real politics and what politicians should be doing is sorting out the bins in Birmingham. And we're going to be talking about this. We're going live to Birmingham in 5 minutes or so. How long has this been going on?
I've lost count, but well over a year at this point.
A year. Absolutely. Sort of, why does nobody seem to care about this? I just don't understand this. Birmingham, right, like a lot of councils, they haven't got the budget, they haven't got the money. But then that's central government's responsibility, surely, to step in and do something about that.
It's probably, for a lot of people right now, it's probably symbolic of where the country's at. And it's entirely depressing. And the fact it's gone on this long... And I know you're angry about it, Eamonn, and you're right to be. It is a complete disgrace.
Yeah.
Oscar, just before we let you go, can I ask you about this breaking news that we've had this morning, that the Labour MP, Tulip Siddiq, has been sentenced to 2 years in jail for corruption in Bangladesh as she resigned.
Will she not be going there on her holidays, will she? She's not going near Bangladesh, I would have thought.
Yeah, she wasn't in the country when she was tried.
Right.
But, of course, she resigned from her ministerial post earlier this year, didn't she, when she was accused of illegally receiving a plot of land from her aunt. Her aunt, who was ousted last year from Bangladesh, since been sentenced to death. She's fled to India.
Wow, I mean, former Treasury Minister, no less, as well. She might be... it's from one problem to another, really. Look, I think, from what I understand, it's very unlikely she'd ever serve that sentence. But again, when you read it back like that, it is staggering. This is a minister. This is the highest level you can get to government in this country, to have received a prison sentence in Bangladesh. I think people will read into that what they will. I think it probably speaks to the whiter than white, how Labour came into power and took over the Tories, the sleaze, the Tories this, the Tories that, and the transport sec had to resign, if you remember. I think misleading the police on a stolen phone, all the Lord Ali stuff. Obviously, this stuff with Tulip Sadiq is shocking corruption. It kind of goes on and on and on. So, as a lesson to politicians, do not pretend you are saints. Do not pretend you are whiter than white, and that because you will never ever hold yourself to that. You'll never be able to hold yourself to that.
Yeah, but who is a saint? Who is whiter than white? And what do we accept? I look at Trump day after day, and I go, if he was a British politician, he'd be history. He wouldn't be allowed to say that. He wouldn't be allowed to behave like that. And yet there is increasing support and a lot of admiration, I think, in the UK for him as well. Is that the way our politics is going?
Well, look, I think people want results now. I think the situation is kind of as dire as it is in the UK at the moment. I don't like talking the UK down, but it's not great for people. It's tough for people. I think at this point, people just want results.
I agree with you in terms of, I think, also just talking the truth, saying it as it is, not going round in circles, not speaking in political speak and saying absolutely nothing. And there are too many that are a bit like that. Oscar, pleasure listening to you.
Thanks, Oscar.
We've got to move on, my friend, but thank you very much indeed for that. Have your say on what Oscar has saying, and if you're a friend of GB News, you can vote in today's You Decide poll. What do you do, Ellie?
Well, all you have to do is scan the QR code on your screens now. So just take your phone up to the screen, take a picture of that, and it will do it all for you. The question this morning is, do we need a new budget? So you can vote yes or no to that question.
What do you mean, and give us money back again?
Well, start again. Rip it up and start again.
Well, the tax situation, I'm telling you, is awful for everybody, directly and indirectly. Why do we need all these taxes? Why are there so many of them? What is value-added tax? And it just, honestly, it just is ridiculous. And this country's broke. Are we all going to hell in a handcart? Let us know. We were talking about Birmingham there. These bin strikes, they continue, and just absolutely awful. But for the first time, agency workers have been hired to cover those strikers. They are now saying, no, we're not doing this either. We're going to join the picket lines on this one.
Can you?
Will Godley, let's go there live. Will, we've tried to paint the picture there. We're all surprised that it's still going on. And how bad is it? And are we any closer to a settlement on all of this?
Well, that is the big question today, isn't it, Eamonn? Good morning to you and Ellie in the studio from a rather drizzly Birmingham here on the picket line, one of 3 picket lines, but not putting any dampener on the spirits here today. Of course, it's not a new thing that these picket lines are going on in Birmingham. Workers been striking since March, of course, but what is new is today agency workers, those workers brought in to cover the council workers who went on strike when they were unhappy about their contracts. Well, those agency workers now striking for the first time today. Let's speak to Andy Graham, who is on the picket line today. Andy, why have you felt it's important to be on strike?
I just think standing up for what you think is right, the way we're being treated and stuff, it's not fair, within there. Always being under the constant threat of your job, you do the slightest thing wrong, it's a phone call and you're out of work the next day. And, it's time to just put our foot down and just sort of say, no more bullying, no more being, mistreated in the workplace, because it's not fair.
Andy, thanks for joining us on GB News. Also here joining us is Onay Kassab from Unite the Union. It's being described that agency workers joining the picket line as an unprecedented escalation in these strikes. Do you feel it is?
It is absolutely unprecedented. I challenge anybody to come up with a strike, an industrial dispute that's taken place previously, where those brought in to try and break the strike have actually demanded a ballot themselves, and then they vote yes, and that they come out on strike. And as Andy has said already, these workers, instead of being treated well by the agency or by the council, are being bullied, harassed and being threatened with blacklisting. And let's not forget what this dispute is about. We are not asking for more money. Our members just want to keep what they've got. They can't take a pay cut of £8,000 a year.
But the council have told us that they've put a number of offers on the table. You've rejected all of them. Why are you keeping residents of Birmingham from effectively not having a waste management system in place here?
Look, I will say this with no qualification. They are lying. That is what's happening. The council are lying. We have not rejected deal after deal. We were close to making an agreement. They withdrew their own offer from the table. That's what's happened. And look, as far as residents are concerned, our members on strike are also residents of the city. They do not want to be out on strike. We do not want to be doing this. The reality is that it's the council that have acted in a way that has meant that this dispute has gone on for far, far too long. We are ready to sit down and negotiate at any point. As soon as they're ready, we'll sit down and negotiate.
You say that, but you've also said that these strikes could continue until May next year. Are you seriously saying these strikes could go on for 14 months, people not having their bins collected?
We have a legal mandate because we have balloted, and that takes us up until May of next year. But I will repeat, we do not want to be out on strike for a single day longer. We will sit down and negotiate, but what we will not do as a trade union is stand by while working people like these guys are forced to take pay cuts, while they are bullied and harassed and are forced to work in unsafe conditions. We are a trade union that is not going to stand by and allow that to happen.
Oné Kassab, thanks for joining us on GB News. Well, we've heard from Birmingham City Council. They've told GB News that they said any claims of bullying are unfounded. Claims of blacklisting, they said, will not be tolerated. They've done an investigation. They said those claims were not found. They've also told us that they are disappointed the dispute has not been resolved yet, but they have contingency plans in place to ensure people in Birmingham keep having their bins collected. Eamonn and Ellie.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Absolute disgrace. Well, we're going to come back to you later. Hopefully it'll be a bit brighter, and but we'll just gauge reaction from people watching and listening on this. So for the moment, Will, thank you very much indeed. Just unbelievable that, first of all, people are put in a position where they're saying, we're going to cut your salary by 8,000 quid and I continue to work for us. What do you do about that? Short of going on strike. Yeah. You know, absolutely scandalous situation.
And then remarkable that the agency workers who've been brought in to cover the bin strikers are now going on strike themselves.
Yeah, I find that amazing. But it's an awful situation, and if local government can't deal with it, then central government should be dealing with it.
Yeah, why hasn't that happened yet? Many people will be asking.
And why has it not been talked about more? I mean, the whole of Birmingham being, you know, rubbish, rats, mice, awfulness, ghastly thing. Yeah. You know, something should be done. But look, have your say today. We'd just like to hear what you think when we go back again next time. Maybe we're wrong, maybe we're out of touch, but I think this should be settled, and it should be settled by somebody or something that is higher than Birmingham City Council on this. So we're with the bin men, we have to say. Let us know who you're with, what you think about all of this.
Now, it's coming up to 22 minutes past 7. Should we get a check on the weather? Because I think it's going to be wet, wet, wet. Ooh. Tom Morgan's got all the details.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather update from the Met Office. It's much milder out there today, but it's a wet and windy start to the week with coastal gales, and there's an amber warning for heavy rain in place across parts of Wales this morning. So a wet and blustery picture for many parts of England and Wales, southern and eastern parts of Scotland as well. That rain particularly heavy out towards the west. The higher ground of Wales and western parts of England could easily see 100 millimetres of rain by the end of today. That's almost half a month's worth of rain falling in some spots. Brighter for some across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Some sunshine here, but also a few showers. But it's the winds in the south that will also make it feel pretty unpleasant. Gales around the coasts. Despite temperatures reaching 13 or 14 degrees, it's going to feel pretty unpleasant. And there will be further spells of pretty heavy rain through the course of this evening, particularly across the West Country, parts of Wales as well. Those bright shades of colour on the map here indicate some really intense downpours, so some flooding on the roads and some transport disruption is quite likely. Do keep an eye on our weather warnings and leave yourself extra time for your commute home this evening. Something a little bit drier across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the day. Some clearer skies here too, but also the chances of some showers. Winds easing down across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will stay pretty blustery across many parts of England and Wales. Further spells of rain through the course of this evening, but the weather warnings will elapse as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And by the end of the night, the heaviest and the most persistent rain will probably be confined to some northeastern coastal parts of the UK. So turning drier and clearer, and a colder night to come, although generally speaking staying just about frost-free. Now for Tuesday, it's looking a lot drier and brighter for many parts of the UK. There will be some showers around, and those will be fairly frequent in some southern and western areas. The risk of some hail and thunder, as well as that across the northwest of Scotland, will have some fairly strong and blustery southwesterly winds. But eastern parts of the UK may well stay largely dry, with some sunny spells. And temperatures on Tuesday around average for the time of year, highs of 10 or 11 degrees.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Now, we're excited about this, aren't we?
Yes, and you should be excited about this because this is a new Great British giveaway.
Brand new.
And biggest cash prize ever.
Yeah, 85 grand. How amazing is that? All tax-free, and you'll get it in the new year. Here are all of the details that you need.
It's the greatest cash prize of the Great British giveaway so far. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash to spend on anything you like, making 2026 your greatest year to date. That could get you that brand new car, extend and improve your home, take you away on that bucket list holiday, or just give you some peace of mind over the coming months. For a chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Now, do stay with us. Up next, as Ariana Grande hits out at fans who are expressing concerns over her weight loss, we're asking this morning, is it ever okay to comment on somebody else's weight?
Well, it's never stopped anybody talking about mine, I have to say. Anyway, well, what do you think about all of that? We'll be back after this.
Bold. They are under no illusion. Ray, are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it. Don't get this on the BBC. Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines. The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it? From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos. What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak. Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
No,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Dubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Dordme, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain was once the envy of the world, but look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock, only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversations.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Ariana Grande is a singer, she's an actress, and she's changed in her look, her presence.
Yeah, she's lost a lot of weight, hasn't she? I mean, she's always been petite.
I've looked at worse pictures than that of her. I mean, where her chest bones were exposed and showing and whatever. And but certainly she always looked okay. But she's older. She's older.
She is, yeah. But fans have been expressing concern, let's say, about her new weight loss. And she's not happy about that. Ariana Grande saying, think before you speak. We don't need to talk about other people's bodies. She says we don't need to talk about other people's looks and appearance, and you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, OK, well, let's find out what is going on. Former presenter of Fat Families, Steve Miller, this morning, he'll have a thing or two to say about this. And body positivity person, campaigner, Danielle Broadbent. Danielle, good seeing you as well. Steve, well, I mean, here we are, Ariana Grande. She's very bony. I mean, you look, if you go on the internet and you Google her and you look at pictures, from my point of view, and I assume most of her fans are speaking from the same area, you're concerned about her. You look at her and I'd be quite concerned about her.
Yeah, and I also have another opinion, which is if you're going to put yourself out there and you're a celebrity putting yourself out there, all the news isn't going to be what you want all the time. People have the right to comment as they wish. But coming to the question of commenting on people's weight, I mean, I think it's essential, actually, especially if a loved one or a close friend becomes too fat, because what we do know is that there are incredible risks if people become too fat. It's really interesting, isn't it, in society that actually we don't have a problem saying to someone, oh, you're looking really well, you've lost some weight, you look great. But we have that nervous feeling when we're going to say, do you know what? You're becoming a bit porky. I'm a bit worried about you. And I think we should be encouraging people to let their close people that are close to them know if they're becoming too fat.
But Steve, you know, interesting, you and I always have very good conversations about this. I think nobody objects when you say, oh, you're becoming a bit porky or you're fairly putting it on, look at the gut on you, whatever. But when people become thin, then we're all supposed to be concerned and, you know, then people will have something to say, and that's supposed to be legitimate, legitimate concern. But there doesn't seem to be any holdback in people saying, you're putting on the beef.
Yeah, and I think we've just got to apply common sense to it, Eamonn. If someone is becoming worryingly too thin, then it needs addressing because their health is potentially in danger. And the same goes if people are too fat. But in the UK now, of course, I think we're a nation of fat faffers, actually. We faff about so much around this topic because people are so nervous about, you know, consequences of being called a fat shamer.
Okay. Danielle, let's bring you in. Is it ever OK, do you think, to comment on somebody's weight?
I don't think it is. I think that someone's weight and appearance is not really up for public debate. I think that, you know, what you know, Steve said there, you know, if it's someone close to us and we're concerned, you know, that's a different relationship. But I think what Ariana Grande is saying here is, you know, she's on a platform and thousands of people are publicly commenting on her appearance. And people can be concerned privately without publicly just trying to bring somebody down. I think there's a massive difference there. And one interesting point that she actually made was that when her body was more what's deemed as publicly desirable. She was at the unhealthiest stage of her whole life. She was drinking, she was on antidepressants. So although to somebody who feels the need to criticise Ariana Grande and bring her down, she's actually saying now her body's internally the best it's ever been. So who are we to cast an opinion on that? Are we actually...
Except, Danielle, what I would say is we're showing pictures of her which are definitely not the worst pictures that I have seen. And if you go on the internet, you will see things that will make you go, oh, my goodness. And the weight loss, what would you say, Ellie? It is quite dramatic, isn't it?
It is dramatic, yeah. I mean, she's always been petite, always been
especially
small.
since it's not needed. So, and Danielle's saying that, there could be other factors behind all of this.
And that's what Ariana's saying as well. She's saying you never know what's going on in someone's life. That's why it's not helpful if you comment on my weight. Steve, do you think there should be a limit to who is allowed to comment on a person's weight? I mean, you mentioned there if you're a close family or friend, or you think it's up for anyone to comment on a person's size?
I think it's absolutely up to anyone, but the point is how you do it and why you're doing it. The last thing I would do is run down the street shouting, "Watch out, massive fatties, I'm coming to get you," like I did in my TV show. I wouldn't do that on a stranger's street. But if someone's becoming too fat or too thin, I think we have a duty to let people know, and it can come from a place of kindness. And also, I think if you're doing it, is to also have a plan of action for that person as well. Maybe that's encouraging them to see the GP, encouraging them to take up a bit of exercise with you, for example. So I think shying away from it is potentially very, very dangerous. And I think we need to overcome this cultural thing that commenting on people's bodies is a bad thing. It's actually a good thing if it's done constructively.
Last word to you, Danielle.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the debate here that we're having is that she's actually too thin. I actually think that a person's body is private, and if she's happy in her own skin, that's her business. It's not mine or yours or anyone's business to be saying, wow, she's too thin, because is it not her choice? Because she's in the public eye, do we then take all the power away from her to say, we own your body now, this is how you should look, crack on? Because I don't think it is.
Okay.
Well, very, very interesting. And Steve, just something that came into my head there, just with you there and talking about this. Definitely outside, you just notice more and more people are gross.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely gross. I'm talking on the big side, I'm not talking on the small side. Just a generality, if you go into a shopping mall, if you go to a sports event, if you go to a concert or whatever, you sit on an airplane and, I know people regard me as big. Believe me, I am slight compared to a lot of people that are out there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that the nation should start doing is observing the habits of fat people, not being horrible to them, but observe those habits and doing the opposite. Because people are scoffing too much, they're eating too quick, they're not moving themselves, they move like a tortoise, they need to move like a racehorse.
Okay,
Steve,
well, you're looking like
Danielle.
a racehorse. And I mean that in a good way, in a kind way. Keep it up. Thank you very much indeed, Danielle. Appreciate it. Got to leave it there. Thank you both very much indeed.
Let us know what you think on that one. gbnews.com/you'll say. Is it ever okay to comment on someone's weight? Let us know.
Okay. A dejected Lando Norris was defeated in the Qatar Grand Prix yesterday. So that means the title of world champion all rests on next week's season finale in Abu Dhabi. Paul Coit will tell you more.
Thank you, Britain, for making us the fastest growing news website in the nation. Because the truth matters, and so do you.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Road users should exercise caution on the A77 near Auchencross as flooding affects the carriageway. The Britannia Bridge on the A55 is experiencing high winds, posing challenges for drivers until further notice. In Greater London, the A13 eastbound is facing lane closures due to a collision. Conditions are anticipated to return to normal between 9 and 9:15 this morning. And on the trains, East Midlands railway services between London St Pancras International and Luton face disruption. Additionally, the Great Northern Network is experiencing widespread delays, causing further inconvenience to commuters. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, because the failure is
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off-limits. You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Just sad sports news to begin with. Paul's with us here today, and that is, I think, West Ham legend Billy Bonds. Absolutely incredible. And he went from being a player to a coach to managing the club as well.
West Ham through and through. 79 years old. 799 games for West Ham. See, that's the thing. I don't want to go old and like the old days, but that's it. You know, when you're a player like that and you stick with the club for years and years.
The club sticks with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there we are. There's the tribute from the London Stadium yesterday. And also, obviously, this had to be rushed through because the news broke on Sunday morning.
And then it broke just before their home game, West Ham's home game against Liverpool.
That's right, yeah. So there's the tribute there. There was the minute's applause, of course. And
why did they do a minute's applause rather than a minute's silence?
I think the reason for that, Ellie, is because of certain football fans that would boo. I don't think that. I think in that situation, I know it's a tricky call. For me, I find the minute's silence means more. And I think when you're playing a game like Liverpool, I think everybody would be truly respectful for that.
You think that?
I know.
They're not.
So what do you do?
There's always some idiot somewhere who's...
And then they have to cut it short.
Yeah.
So really applause. I mean, it's thank you for everything that they've done. I guess so. But anyway, whatever, it's still a nice tribute.
How can you thank Billy Bonds? Absolutely incredible. And he would have played with all the other West Ham greats, the Jeff Hursts and the Martin Peters.
When he was young, he took over from Bobby Moore. So when he took over from Bobby Moore, then in 1975, when he lifted the FA Cup, the irony is that Bobby Moore was playing for Fulham in that game, along with Alan Mullery, who was then the captain of Fulham. Yeah. You know, something happened. I remember, this is moving away, but I remember Alan Mullery saying, is that Bobby Moore, when there's a famous picture of Bobby Moore and Alan Mullery walking off the pitch at Wembley in 75, arm round each other. And Bobby had said to Alan, not bad for a couple of old fellas like us. And Alan went, not happy. Threw his medal away. He said, no, I won't have it. I'm not happy. So the fact that they lost to West Ham, he still wasn't satisfied with that. But anyway, I do want to mention something that did happen in the game yesterday because Liverpool beat West Ham 2-0. Lucas Paquetá. Now, Lucas Paquetá cleared of spot fixing charges by the FA. This went on for a couple of years. There's a big deal about it. He got a red card. Now, I mean, this is unbelievable. For dissent twice. So, and it wasn't even his foul. Runs in, has a go at the referee, and the referee gives him a yellow card. goes in, has another go, and then the referee gives him a red card. So he wrote on X yesterday, after being accused of ridiculous behaviour, said it's ridiculous to have your life and career affected for 2 years without any support from the Federation. Perhaps the ridiculous behaviour is just a reflection of everything I've had to endure and seems to have to continue enduring. I'm sorry if I'm not perfect.
Well, fair enough, but I think the referee, I mean, he had a go at the referee, which is an obvious offence. He's booked for it, and he doesn't learn. Comes back again.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Not actually later in the game. Straight away. So ridiculous. Okay. I understand his problems. I understand that it was tough, but anyway.
Well, red card to you now, Paul. You're gone, and we'll see you again at about,
Straight red. Fair enough.
8:30. OK, my friend?
Do you have any birthdays for us today?
I do. 8:30.
No, that's 8:30.
Thank goodness. 8:30. I was just saying, something to look forward to. I've got birthdays at 8:30. Fabulous. Now, do stay with us. We'll be going through the papers with Chris Akabusi and Dawn Neeson. That's up next. What are they up to now? Absolute chaos. Decorating the Christmas tree with the West Ham scarf. Of course, it's only these two. See you in a second,
Happy
you
Christmas
two.
to them and happy Christmas to you two. Back after this.
Can't wait to get in that sea.
Lovely and warm.
Just like the feeling of having great travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hi there. If you're off to the Mediterranean in the next few days, there will be a lot of dry weather to be enjoyed, but there will also be some heavy showers in places. And across Iberia and Madeira, we have got this cold front pushing through on Tuesday, so some gusty winds and heavy rain for a time. Thunderstorms following to Portugal as well. Otherwise, across the central Med, there will be some scattered heavy showers and thunderstorms, but mostly dry across Greece and Turkey, some warm spells of sunshine here, and quite a changeable outlook for the rest of the week, but temperatures around average.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m.
Only on GB News.
Britain's newsroom. Weekday mornings from 9:30.
And all the way around it, there's going to be 1 million bricks with 1 million answered prayers, so people can take their smartphones, scan a prayer, and see how it was answered. I'm joined now by Richard Gamble. You're the founder of this project. Just tell us about it and what inspired you.
So the concept is we want to bring hope to people, and anyone coming will be able to point their phone at any one of the bricks, and their phone will light up and tell them the story of answered prayer. And God spoke to me about this 21 years ago, so it's been a roller coaster journey. So it's just a real thrill today that we can get started, and we want to proclaim to the nation that Jesus is alive, he listens, and he answers our prayers.
And how important do you think this is now in this day and age?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we're doing is we're not just collecting the answered prayers from now, but from all of history. So we want to preserve the Christian heritage of the nation and get schools and colleges to come and visit and find out all the stories of what God's done through our history. And I think particularly now that's more important than ever.
And you didn't want it to look like a religious monument as such, like Christ the Redeemer?
Yeah, when we ran a global competition with the Royal Institute of British Architects, we didn't want it to have the Christian iconography. We wanted to be a stunning structural design that basically encourages people to come along, have a look, and when they come, they'll be able to see all these tiny bricks on it and realise how big a million is. And I hope as a piece of art, that's going to inspire millions of people to think about praying.
GB News, the People's Channel.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Thanks for that one. You should really see and hear what was on during the commercial break.
No.
Here, Dawn Neeson, Chris Sakabusi, and they're going to talk to us about things that are winding them up today in the papers. And Christmas and why it could be a good time to ditch your partner.
Yes. This is not at all personal, this story. Morning, darling, if you're listening. Basically, this is a story in the Daily Mail. This is coming from a divorce lawyer. Ending a relationship is difficult any time of year, obviously, and this is heightened emotions. Some of us are excited about Christmas and birthdays, some aren't so much. But as the festive season gets underway, a relationship expert has revealed the best and worst times to break up, and now mid-November to early December is the kindest window.
Oh, really?
So you don't do it over Christmas when that's really hyper emotional. So you've got, if you do it kind of now, then you get sort of like, you know, in the run up to Christmas, you get all the messy stuff over and done with, and then Christmas is. But the peak time for people consulting their divorce lawyers, hi, darling, is early January. Early January,
well, yeah, exactly.
Evidently. Yeah, because you've had that hothouse Christmas period together where you're locked in your room, you've got all your rellies around there, you've maybe had a few drinks, and in January you think, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. On the phone to your divorce lawyer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought it was January because you've had that time you locked together, all the nerves have been frazzled, and then your New Year's resolution is, you know what, mate? You're out.
Yeah, but if you're going to do it, you know, lay the groundwork now.
Now's too soon. You've only got a couple of weeks.
You've only been married a few months. We're not talking about you. You're fine.
No, just that generally...
Give it another year or so, Ellie.
It would be a bit close to Christmas, don't you think? It'd be a bit painful.
Well, always money involved in divorce.
Oh, you've spent all your money at Christmas. There's no money in the year.
Good point. That's another good reason to do it. Sorry, I'm skint.
But the front page of the Times today is talking about how much it can cost to raise a child. And how much is that, Chris?
Yes.
Well, I mean, there are two massive stages. I mean, so it's £250,000 to raise a child. I mean, I think that's probably under.
Really?
Yes.
Underpicking it.
What world do you live in?
Well, I don't have kids, do I?
No.
Like a lot of money.
But you've been one.
No, it's a lot.
I don't know how much they cost.
I mean, we are talking averages here, so, you know, but gosh, it seems... So the period, 15 to 18, is the most expensive.
Yeah.
When your child needs to learn about being clean and tidy and sniffies and smellies and all that sort of stuff.
Really?
Yes.
Well, often they'll instigate it. You know, they want the grooming material.
Yeah, their mates have told them, mate, you're not doing it for me. Ooh. Right. So that's £65,000.
But you look at Christmas presents, for instance, anybody wants to watch. You know, when I was young and I got a watch when I was 10, and it was a Timex watch, and I'm sure it cost $7.99 or whatever it was then. But I mean, it's £300, £400, £500 for a watch alone at Christmas. So a watch and a computer and trainers or whatever it is.
I don't think young people buying watches these days, are they? They've got that on their phone.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Chris.
But your point is well, because instead of the watch, they might want. Excuse me, Sos.
It's the trainers.
They might want the phone. They want the telephone. They want the tablet.
Yeah, phones. Yeah.
Especially those youngsters now that are going in, say 15 to 16. You're going into your A levels and GCSEs, so you need a tablet to do all of your studies and all of your tests, etc., etc. So, and then the second most expensive time is when they're toddlers.
Oh.
The toddler, 2 to 4, all of again.
This is the question for you.
Nursery fees.
Yeah, well, Mr. Akibusi, you've been a father and you're now a proud grandfather.
Yes.
Are you spending more now as a granddad?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, not yet.
No, your children are definitely more expensive than your grandchildren because you're supporting your children with their children who are, you know, so, and it's all the love, care and sweeties and all that sort of stuff.
The nice stuff.
Yeah, all the nice
stuff. And you will do anything it takes. You see it as a sign of love.
Aww.
I mean, to buy them gifts or to spend things on them, that's how much I love you type of thing. It's very hard to turn down, Daddy, please can I have that? No, you can't. You have to wait till Christmas. Then you think, oh, maybe I'll just get them
big
anyway.
softy.
The old pest the power. The old pest the power.
Yeah.
How do you stop a child? Well, please, Wallace, please, please.
Yeah.
But you know, Chris, when we were young, when we were kids, there was your birthday. Yes, you might have got something for your birthday, and you might have got something at Christmas, but you weren't bought anything else for the rest of the year.
Oh no, that's true. I thought you was going to say you might have got something for birthday and something for Christmas.
Yeah.
But now they get everything. The whole Christmas, the whole place is littered with all sorts of toys. I remember when sorry.
Well, on that thought, think about that, folks, and we are going to be back right after the weather.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather update from the Met Office. It's much milder out there today, but it's a wetter, windy start to the week with coastal gales, and there's an amber warning for heavy rain in place across parts of Wales this morning. So a wet and blustery picture for many parts of England and Wales, southern and eastern parts of Scotland as well. That rain particularly heavy out towards the west. The higher ground of Wales and western parts of England could easily see 100 millimetres of rain by the end of today. That's almost half a month's worth of rain falling in some spots. Brighter for some across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Some sunshine here, but also a few showers. But it's the winds in the south that will also make it feel pretty unpleasant. Gales around the coasts. Despite temperatures reaching 13 or 14 degrees, it's going to feel pretty unpleasant. And there will be further spells of pretty heavy rain through the course of this evening, particularly across the West Country, parts of Wales as well. Those bright shades of colour on the map here indicate some really intense downpours, so some flooding on the roads and some transport disruption is quite likely. Do keep an eye on our weather warnings and leave yourself extra time for your commute home this evening. Something a little bit drier across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the day. Some clearer skies here too, but also the chances from showers. Winds easing down across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will stay pretty blustery across many parts of England and Wales. Further spells of rain through the course of this evening, but the weather warnings will elapse as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And by the end of the night, the heaviest and the most persistent rain will probably be confined to some northeastern coastal parts of the UK. So turning drier and clearer, and a colder night to come, although generally speaking staying just about frost-free. Now for Tuesday, it's looking a lot drier and brighter for many parts of the UK. There will be some showers around, and those will be fairly frequent in some southern and western areas. The risk of some hail and thunder, as well as that across the northwest of Scotland, will have some fairly strong and blustery southwesterly winds. But eastern parts of the UK may well stay largely dry, with some sunny spells. And temperatures on Tuesday around average for the time of year, highs of 10 or 11 degrees.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for helping us reach 8 million followers across social media. Thank you for making us a part of your daily life.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A76 is closed at Bowhouse Crossroads due to flooding. The M48 bridge between Austin Newhouse is closed. The A38 northbound near Burton-upon-Trent experiences 10-minute delays. In West Sussex, the A23 northbound at the A230 is closed following a serious incident, causing 20-minute delays. Greater London faces all lanes shut on the A13 eastbound due to a major collision. And on the trains, expect delays on the East Midlands Railway between London St Pancras International and Luton, and disruptions on the Great Northern Network. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's the greatest cash prize of the Great British Giveaway so far. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash to spend on anything you like, making 2026 your greatest year to date. That could get you that brand new car, extend and improve your home, take you away on that bucket list holiday, or just give you some peace of mind over the coming months. For a chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/your say. There, you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/your say, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
A really important thing about GB News, and it's brought something completely different to the landscape.
The mainstream is all about keeping the status quo as it is, ticking along quite nicely. They don't want to ask difficult questions.
GB News exists because there is a desperate need for fearless journalism that puts the people first.
GB News came on the scene as a disruptor, and it has always been a disruptor ever since.
Journalism in this country has been a cosy world full of groupthink until now.
Well, the reality is that most British journalists are afraid. That's not GB News.
Journalism is journalism at the end of the day, and we're not here to serve any masters. Our masters are our audience.
We're here to talk about things in a way that have never been broadcast on British airways before.
Do not miss a moment on GB News.
The #1 news channel in the country.
Good morning. The Chancellor faces a sleaze probe as MPs double down.
Nigel Farage has reported Rachel Reeves to an ethics watchdog after she misled the public, he says, about the economy. Ministers are demanding answers.
While the Prime Minister hits back at critics, insisting Labour's economic plan will take years to deliver.
Breaking news just coming into us this morning. The last hour, Labour MP Tulip Siddiq has been sentenced to 2 years in prison in Bangladesh over corruption allegations. She denies all of this. Siddiq's lawyers insist she was not given a fair trial.
Elsewhere, the Justice Secretary, David Lammy, is warned that limiting jury trials could undermine free speech. It's as the Labour government moves to cut the court backlog.
Agency workers have joined the bin strike in Birmingham. They're protesting over pay cuts of up to £8,000 for 150 staff. We'll be going back there shortly and reflecting your views on all of this.
Allowed into the grounds before it was private, so it's amazing now that it's been opened up for everybody to come in.
The transformation of the full estate is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Curtains from King Charles's Sandringham home are being turned into luxury stockings for a charity auction.
And in sport this morning, the World Drivers' Championship will go down to the wire next week as McLaren let down Lando Norris again. Maybe the Premier League isn't done and dusted just yet, as Arsenal draw with 10-man Chelsea, and West Ham's Lucas Paquetá blames his stupid double descent red card on the Football Association.
It's a wet and windy start to the week, but is the weather going to feel more festive in the week to come? Find out in your full forecast coming up.
Hello there, thank you for your company. Eamonn, Holmes here.
Ellie Costello here as well. This is GB News Breakfast. And let's get straight into the politics this morning, shall we, with the Shadow Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, Alex Burkhardt, who joins us now. Very good morning to you, Mr Burkhardt.
As opposed, Alex, to the Chancellor, you're the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster as opposed to the Chancellor, or being the Vice-Chancellor as well. Yeah. But we're going to start with Rachel Reeves, Alex. She's over all the newspapers today, and a lot of people not happy with her, including Nigel Farage. What's your situation?
Look, it's clear that the Chancellor has been caught telling porky pies, and very, very serious ones at that. It seems now very clear that in the run-up to the budget, Rachel Reeves told the country that there was a big hole in the public finances and she was going to have to put up taxes in order to fill it. But it now turns out that the advice she was given by the Independent Office for Budget Responsibility was completely different to that. And the reason she's actually put up taxes is in order to increase welfare spending. And that's so everybody watching your show, Eamonn, is going to have less money in their pocket in order to pay for welfare rises to keep Labour backbenchers happy. That's what's going on here. And we need the Chancellor to be investigated for the dishonesty that she showed in this process.
What questions do you want the Chancellor to answer?
Well, why didn't you tell the truth? You know, why was it you were telling people, you know, in the run-up to the budget that you had this big hole in the public finances that was, you know, that you were going to have to break your manifesto promises in order to fill, when it wasn't true? And why have you put up benefit spending when you said that previously it was going to be too expensive to do? It's, you know, this is just wrong. This is the wrong way of going around a budget. It's the wrong way of running the public finances, and you know, we need her to be held to account. And that's why I've written to the Prime Minister. Wrote to the Prime Minister yesterday, telling him to send Rachel Reeves to the House of Commons today to answer questions. And it's why Mel Stride, the Shadow Chancellor of the Exchequer, has written to the FCA, because it's manipulating the market in this way, you know, releasing false information, is potentially a very serious offence. You'll have seen on Twitter there are some very senior people in the city who are saying that if this had been a private company, the private company had released false information in an attempt to change how the market's reacting, they'd be fired, and they might be facing criminal prosecution. So look, this is really, really serious stuff.
But politicians manipulating the truth, I wouldn't think is anything new, Alex, in all fairness. But I was listening to the Prime Minister yesterday trying to defend his Chancellor and why they raised money to pay off these benefits and raise this for the welfare and all that business. But he was saying, this is to stop, and this is what really annoyed me. This is children in poverty, and we're lifting these children out of poverty, and these children end up in hospital with breathing difficulties and whatever, and this is going to stop that because there's mould and there's damp and whatever in a lot of the homes that they rent. And I'm thinking, that's got nothing to do with the homes that they rent and how the parents intend to spend that money. The way to deal with damp and mould in homes that they rent is to go after the landlords who are allowing it to happen. So I just sort of this argument pulling at your heartstrings, just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, it's more manipulation and dishonesty from a government that just can't be trusted. Yeah, it's a government that has lied over and over again, and now it's been dishonest with the public finances in a way that I think is just inexcusable. Yeah, that they promised that they wouldn't put up, in their manifesto they said they wouldn't put up taxes on working people. They then brought in the biggest taxes on employment that we've seen in 50 years since the Labour government in the 1970s. And last year at the budget, Rachel Reeves, after the budget, she said, I'm not coming back for more, that's it, it's a one-off. And she's broken those promises again. And now we found that she lied about the outlook during the run-up to this budget. It's wrong. It's wrong. And someone has got to take responsibility for it. Just over and over again with this Labour government, no one will take responsibility. And that's why the Conservatives are asking Rachel Reeves to come to the Commons today to face questions, why we've called on the Prime Minister to sack her, and it's why we're asking the FCA to investigate what they've done.
Elsewhere, what do you make of the Justice Secretary's plans to scrap jury trials for most crimes, other than manslaughter, murder or rape? There are warnings from the Free Speech Union this morning that scrapping jury trials is going to undermine free speech. Is that a concern that you share?
Yeah, I think the idea that we would scrap jury trials in all of these areas is completely abhorrent. Jury trials are one of the ancient English liberties. You go back to the pre-Norman conquest, we had jury trials in some cases, and the idea was always that you would be judged by your peers, you would be judged by people like yourself rather than from someone on high. And for the government just to tear this up because it's fumbled the public finances, I think is a dreadful, dreadful thing. Conservatives are completely opposed to it.
And can I just ask you finally on the Birmingham bin strike, been going on for 8.5 months or so, talk of an £8,000 reduction in wages. We're now in this remarkable situation where the picket lines are growing, where the agency workers who were hired to cover the striking bin workers are now joining the picket lines themselves. What is going on here and how can this be fixed? Does the government need to intervene?
Yes, of course the government needs to. You're completely right. It's a total farce. This has been running on for far too long. The government has got to show a bit of backbone. It's got to show a bit of muscle. It's got to go in and stand up to the unions and make it clear that ordinary people in Birmingham shouldn't have their rubbish collections disrupted in this way. A few months ago, we had a rat infestation in parts of Birmingham. Parts of the second city of the United Kingdom. It's totally wrong. But this government won't stand up to the trade unions at all. We know, we see it time and time again. They're fairness, always on their side.
Alex, I just have to disagree with you just listening to that. The problem isn't the unions and isn't the workers. The problem is the employers. And if the government, if Rachel Reeves had said last week during her budget, she was saying, and incidentally, I'm putting up your taxes to help pay for the grafting, hard-working bin workers in Birmingham, I'd have said, here, yes, have a few quid from me, because I can see the point of that. Surely what I'm saying, Alex, is you cannot say to a worker, right, we're going to take 8,000 quid from your salary and you're going to continue to do your job.
No, look, all of these things go through a process of negotiation. What I'm totally against are picket lines preventing people from clearing up rubbish in Birmingham, where you might then have a health and safety problem because you've got rats running around. That is just taking things far too far, and that's why the government needs to step in and do something about it. And hard-working bin men are happy to be on their side. I don't want to see their taxes put up, which is what the Chancellor is now doing. So the Chancellor is once again making things worse.
Well, it's all a lot of old rubbish, it has to be said, Alex Burgert, but thank you. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your time this morning. Always good to talk to you, Alex. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, 10 minutes past 8, just a reminder that you can get in touch with us the normal way, gbnews.com/you'll say. You can also get involved as our friends of GB News, and you can vote in today's You Decide poll. It's on your screens now. It's as simple as this question today: do we need a new budget? 98% of you so far saying yes.
Say that's pretty emphatic.
2% of you saying no, we don't need a new budget. If you want to get involved, just scan the QR code on your screens now, or you can head to the website gbnews.com. But I think it's pretty resounding, don't you?
No argument there, really. Have your say as well. And then there are lots of things you've been having your say on, which we'll come to very, very shortly.
Yes.
We're getting... You may have noticed our Christmas decorations up here.
Oh, the studio looks stunning.
The studio's all full of GB News colours and balls and
an elf on the shelf.
The elf on the shelf. So anyway, but a Christmas lights display in a village town near Bristol is raising money for the taxi charity for military veterans, which is a great organisation.
It really is, because it provides transport and specialist equipment to disabled former servicemen and women.
Well, we would like to say hello, good morning, welcome and happy Christmas to Richard Isles. Richard is an amazing guy. He was inspired to build a light display for this charity, and with him is Dick Goodwin, and Dick is from the taxi charity for military veterans. Lovely to see you both. And Richard, though, before we begin to get underway, how many lights are we talking about that adorn your house?
Well, we're not far off, about 300,000. So
My word.
A lot of lights.
And how long did that take to put up on your house?
It takes about 4 weeks.
A month?
Yeah, and that's hard, hard, long nights.
So a month putting them up, does it take a month to take them down again?
It probably takes about a week to take them down.
Oh, but, my word.
If you are listening on the radio, imagine a house blanketed.
Totally blanketed.
Totally blanketed in gold twinkly lights. I mean, it looks absolutely
I'd love to see
stunning.
what your house looks like. I don't have any idea, but
I'd love to see your electricity bill.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, the electric. It's probably about £200 for the 5 weeks it's on, so...
Oh, OK.
It's not too bad at all.
Well, Dick, not too bad, he says, but really good for your charity. How much are you expecting, are you hoping to raise for what you guys do?
Well, Richard did a fabulous job for us last year, and this year we're hoping no one nicks the bucket, as they say, which happened last year.
What?
But
seriously?
Yeah.
So what, you've got a bucket outside and
We had
someone
a
stole it?
donations bucket outside. Yeah, somebody stole it last year, so, yeah.
Oh, you couldn't make it up, could you?
That is horrific.
Yeah, put a big downer on the whole thing, to be honest, but...
I don't suppose you know how much was in that bucket?
Probably £50 to £100, but it's just a fact. Somebody stole them,
Just a fact, yeah. But anyway, Dick, how much did you raise last year? How much are you hoping to raise this year?
I think it was in the region of about 7,000 last year.
Brilliant.
And we're very grateful to Richard for what he's doing.
Was it not 17,000?
It was £15,300.
Right.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. So, and how does that work then? So do you literally become a bit of a tourist attraction? So people would come from far and wide and put money in the bucket?
Yeah,
or are they
so we've
donating online?
People down from London, people up from Cornwall.
Wow.
We're based in Bristol, so... but yeah, we get people from all over the country, so... You know, we like to think we're the biggest display, we're domestic display in the UK.
Wow.
Well, you must be.
And I'm sure to see it, actually, Dick, your mouth just hangs open. You just look at it and say, wow.
Well, I started my working life as an electrician, and I'm willing to offer my services for free to make sure Richard's meter's firmly screwed to the wall.
Yes.
Because it must be spinning like anything.
Well, Dick, tell us about the charity, because it really is the most incredible cause, isn't it, that all this money is going to?
What do you do and who does it go to? I mean, when we say veterans, how veteran do you have to be?
Well, you can. Veteran is serving a day in the armed forces in the UK. That's the qualification as a veteran. But we were formed in 1948 by 6 cab drivers sitting in a pub in Fulham who wanted to take their mates who'd been injured in the war, take them on trips. So they started doing trips out. Like I say, it started with 6 cabs. The first year they went to Brighton, and we don't know what happened at Brighton because there's nothing written down, but they weren't invited back to Brighton.
Really? They must have had a good time then.
Yeah. So the second year they went to Worthing, and we've been going to Worthing ever since. The first Tuesday in July normally.
So, all due respect, what is there to do in Worthing? I mean, I was going a day out to Worthing.
We just give them a day out to the seaside. That's like the old-fashioned
nice,
way.
But you also do international trips as well, don't you, now?
Yeah, we take them over for the commemorations to the anniversary of D-Day, the anniversary of Dutch liberation, which is very popular amongst the Dutch. We take them to the Market Garden commemorations. We do trips to the Menai Gate for the First World War. You don't want to, if you're elderly, you don't want to travel too far in a taxi.
Yeah.
You see, so basically we always go by the shortest road route.
Yes.
And
But you're all together as well, which is just so lovely. It's so moving.
Well, the police, the escort police in the Netherlands closed the motorways for us.
Wow.
And apparently they only do that for American presidents, their king,
Utmost respect.
and us.
Well, it's nice that you've got that goodwill.
It's basically 60 miles of motorway is shut.
Yeah.
Wow.
For our convoy.
So, Richard, what did you do to get associated with the charity, or why did you get involved?
So I travel to Normandy every year, and I see the work these guys do, and we just think it's fantastic. Like the taxi drivers, the volunteers. Yeah, you know, our family just have got a massive...
You're not ex-service, are you?
I'm not, no. I've got a big interest in World War II and the veterans, and I just think it's fantastic what these guys do. So
it's fantastic what you do.
I just want to do my bit back. And
you are doing your bit back. Now, is there anybody? I mean, do you married? Have you a partner? Have you somebody lives in this house? Do they have any say in what?
I've got a wife. I've got 3 young children, which I've not seen for about 3 or 4 weeks because I've been outside.
Too busy putting the lights up.
I'm looking forward now to spending some time with them.
What do they think of the whole spectacle?
They love it. They absolutely love it. But it is hard work. It's really hard work.
And how did it start with the lights? Obviously, you love the charity. You want to do something for them.
Yeah.
And how did the Christmas lights come in?
So I've done it for about 7 years now, and every year we try and add something new and try and get bigger and better. And I've donated to the taxi charity for the last 2 years. So But yeah, we are at the stage now where we are probably like maximised.
Yeah.
And you're not tempted. I mean, I must admit, I'm very partial to a coloured light myself.
Oh,
you know.
no.
I love
We'll
warm
keep
white.
it gold.
I just think, I love warm
So there's
white.
nothing, there's no deviation, there's no different colour in there anywhere.
No, just warm
red
white.
or
We'll
blue.
keep it nice and gold.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with gold.
But we've got, we've got the flags draping down. We've got the banners of World War II veterans. It does looks
Oh,
Well,
it's
and
incredible.
if people want to go along and see this for themselves, where do they go to?
So we're in Bristol, 58 Church Road.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's our address.
Well, I think you just say, where's the house with all the lights?
Yeah, you can see it.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss
It's true.
it. there.
Richard Isles as well on Just Giving. If you wanted to donate online, you can't make it to the house. Richard Isles on justgiving.com.
And I was going to say as well, if you go onto taxicharity.org, click on the donate link, and you can
Taxicharity.org.
Yeah, lots of different ways to donate there.
Oh, pleasure to meet both of you. Thanks for coming all the way in
thank
from
you very
Bristol, incidentally.
My pleasure.
As
Yeah.
well.
Thanks
Very
very
good.
And the lights are up until
Good luck.
12th night as well.
They are, yes.
You've got lots of time.
Yeah.
Thank you two. Lovely to
Keep
meet
on
you both.
doing what you're doing. Thank
Great
you very
stuff.
much.
Thank you.
Now, 18 minutes past 8. Let's get a check on the weather with Tom Morgan.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather update from the Met Office. It's much milder out there today, but it's a wet and windy start to the week with coastal gales, and there's an amber warning for heavy rain in place across parts of Wales this morning. So a wet and blustery picture for many parts of England and Wales, southern and eastern parts of Scotland as well. That rain particularly heavy out towards the west. The higher ground of Wales and western parts of England could easily see 100 millimetres of rain by the end of today. That's almost half a month's worth of rain falling in some spots. Brighter for some across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Some sunshine here, but also a few showers. But it's the winds in the south that will also make it feel pretty unpleasant. Gales around the coasts. Despite temperatures reaching 13 or 14 degrees, it's going to feel pretty unpleasant. And there will be further spells of pretty heavy rain through the course of this evening, particularly across the West Country, parts of Wales as well. Those bright shades of colour on the map here indicate some really intense downpours, so some flooding on the roads and some transport disruption is quite likely. Do keep an eye on our weather warnings and leave yourself extra time for your commute home this evening. Something a little bit drier across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the day. Some clearer skies here too, but also the chance of some showers. Winds easing down across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will stay pretty blustery across many parts of England and Wales. Further spells of rain through the course of this evening, but the weather warnings will elapse as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And by the end of the night, the heaviest and the most persistent rain will probably be confined to some northeastern coastal parts of the UK. So turning drier and clearer, and a colder night to come, although generally speaking staying just about frost-free. Now for Tuesday, it's looking a lot drier and brighter for many parts of the UK. There will be some showers around, and those will be fairly frequent in some southern and western areas. The risk of some hail and thunder, as well as that across the northwest of Scotland, will have some fairly strong and blustery southwesterly winds. But eastern parts of the UK may well stay largely dry, with some sunny spells, and temperatures on Tuesday around average for the time of year, highs of 10 or 11 degrees.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Now, this is a great new competition we have for you. It is another great British giveaway, and it's worth a lot of money. In fact, it is our biggest cash prize to date. How much is it, Ellie?
£85,000. How amazing is that? And best part is tax-free.
Oh.
Could be yours.
Oh,
for the new
Rachel
year.
won't like that. Oh, no. Here's how you could enter.
It's the greatest cash prize of a Great British giveaway so far. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash to spend on anything you like, making 2026 your greatest year to date. That could get you that brand new car, extend and improve your home, take you away on that bucket list holiday, or just give you some peace of mind over the coming months. For a chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Bins in Birmingham, you've been emptying your thoughts on this one. Paul, scandalous for a town hall to take £8,000 away from workers in their wages. What about the bosses and their higher wages? Will they take a cut? They've caused the Birmingham public to go and Birmingham City to go bankrupt, not the workers.
The Grant's been in touch saying, morning, Eamonn and Ellie. We are against excessive striking by doctors and transport workers, but why should bin men pay for Birmingham Council's incompetence? We are with the bin men.
And we all need bin men and women and operatives.
Yeah.
We all need, I mean, you know, we are a filthy country, filthy, and I apply that to everywhere, not anywhere in particular. We tolerate graffiti, we allow litter like it's never been around before, and now this whole bin thing. I mean, I am anti-dirt. I don't like dirt. I don't like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't like plastic bags in the street. But this is awful, and we should be just very thankful we've got people who want to work as bin workers. Now,
Well, they go on to say, don't they, that they do an essential, unglamorous job with hours that we wouldn't relish. There's many people who wouldn't do that work.
Yeah. Now, just talking about unglamorous, let's get into glamorous. So the studio.
Oh,
and
lots of you loving the studio.
The decorations.
Elaine Flynn has been in touch saying the studio looks fantastic. I love it. And Sarah says, I love your decorations, GB News, and it's so much fun this morning trying to spot the elf. Where is the elf right now? I think he was on the oh, there he is, causing mischief for us this morning.
How did he get over there?
Oh, it's been all over the shop today. And Sarah says, I always watch your programmes. Merry Christmas, all of you.
Thank you very much indeed, Sarah. Well, David Lammy has warned about restricting jury trials, and apparently now there's a counter-proposal that this would threaten free speech. How? Should juries be dropped from the majority of trials? Have your say on that one. We're going to be debating that next.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off-limits. You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Nana Queer, weekends from 3 p.m.
And I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about autism and why you got involved with this, because some people don't know the story as to why you set up Anna Kennedy Online.
Well, I have two sons. They're now 32 and 35, and I'm proud to say that my eldest son, Patrick, is in Stockholm at the moment on his own, so that's like a big step for him to go on holiday, and he's loving it. So they both were diagnosed fairly young, and the support at the time was just non-existent.
Yeah.
So we had to set up our own school, and then we set up a vocational college for my youngest son, Angelo.
Now, how do you know that they're autistic? Is there a blood test? Is it something where you have a list of symptoms? Or, because some people say, oh, I've got ADHD and this and that, and I think sometimes people conflate it with autism. Are there parallels with the two, or are they totally separate? Because it's confusing.
They're very different from each other, both Patrick and Angelo. So Angelo was diagnosed fairly early at 2.5, 3. He passed all the milestones, and then he just lost everything. His speech, eye contact, didn't want to be touched, didn't even want me to hug him at the time, running from one end of the room to the other, squealing, and it was just like, what is going on? And as a mum, you're thinking, what have I done wrong? Have I done something wrong?
Oh, no.
Patrick was diagnosed fairly early again, but he was premature, and I thought the difficulties that he was having because he was 11 weeks premature, I thought, is it because he had a bit of a difficult start, in and out of hospital. And then he was diagnosed at 4, and then we found out when he was 7, when he was struggling at school. He was finding school difficult, being bullied. So it's an autism spectrum condition, and if you feel that there might be, you know, something that I'm not quite sure, I can't get a handle on it, please go and see your GP and just ask for your child to be assessed. But the difficulty at the minute is the waiting list is so long to get a diagnosis.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
We heard that the Justice Secretary is set to propose reducing jury trials to tackle the backlog that there is for court. We're talking about 80,000 cases on hold at the moment.
Well, the Justice Secretary is looking to limit juries to the most serious of offences, aiming to clear those 80,000 pending cases off the docket. But is this a practical solution, or is it an obstruction of justice?
Let's now talk to former lawyer Rad Seeger and political commentator Suzanne Evans on this. Very good to see you both. Rad, I think I have to agree with you right from the start. I mean, we've got a broken system here, and people can talk and hypothesise about, you know, the free speech business and whatever, but we've got 80,000 cases on hold, queuing up, that can't be heard. I mean, that's the reality.
Eamonn, absolutely right. Good morning. I think, as always, we have to focus on victims, and I support many victims of rape and domestic violence, and they're frequently told that they're going to have to wait 5 or more years to get to trial. And, you know, we have to deal with what's in front of us. The reality is that very, very few cases actually are tried by juries, but we need to do better. The system is broken, and you know, we'll have to leave it to the policymakers as to whether or not this is the right way forward. But we just can't leave it as it is.
Suzanne, what do you think?
I'm absolutely appalled to hear a lawyer talk in those terms. As he's himself just said, the number of jury trials are very small. Is he not listening to the head of the Bar Council herself, who said that actually abolishing jury trials will not make much difference to the backlog? I mean, I'm sorry, I just think for a lawyer that's an appalling line to take, and I hope the rest of the legal profession has more intelligence, really, to frankly stand up against.
But you could say, Suzanne, that you have a naivety about all of this. What difference does it make? What difference does it make if a judge decides if I'm innocent or guilty as opposed to a jury?
It makes a massive difference because it undermines a fundamental right of British justice that's been enshrined in law since Anglo-Saxon times, and which was firmed up in the Magna Carta in 2015. Let's be very clear about this. The only kind of people who want to abolish jury trials throughout history, well, there's certainly a very long list of some very bad names in the list of people who've abolished jury trials. We're talking about Hitler, Mussolini, Pol Pot, Idi Amin. I mean, you can laugh, but these are the kind of...
They had no queues. They hadn't got an 80,000 backlog for all of this.
Well, I think that's an excuse. I think that's an excuse. As I've said, the head of the Bar Council herself, who surely knows about these things, has said that abolishing jury trials will not make much difference.
But Suzanne, what difference does it make if a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, I don't know what authority they have over a judge, for instance?
Well, I think there are certain, I think many of us feel that the judiciary as it is highly politicised. And the fact is the right to a trial by jury by your peers is a very important cornerstone of British justice. And you might say, well, it doesn't matter, but it matters to the individual who's falsely accused. Yes, we have to think of victims, but I'm afraid there's also a little bit of emotional blackmail in that statement, isn't there? Oh, it's the victims that matter. Never mind the accused. And let's not forget that other fundamental principle of British justice, innocent until proven guilty. And the right to be tried by your peers is very important. I mean, look at what happened, for instance, recently with Lucy Letbia, and there's been a lot of discussion on GB News about her case. Yeah. She pled guilty under duress, she says. Other people in exactly her position, arguably who committed worse offences, although they didn't, because they were acquitted by a jury. This is a very good way to shut down free speech. It's a very good way to get the courts on your side. And that's, as I said, what these despots in history have done. And I don't want to see our country go down that same road.
Rad, there's talk of this 80,000 backlog, but surely we can't turn our backs and rip up the British unwritten constitution because of the incompetence of government and the justice system.
Well, I'm sorry to say my colleague is quite wrong. This is not enshrined in any constitution. We don't have a constitution.
Well, it's set out in the Magna Carta in 1215. It's unwritten, but it's there.
But very, very few people in this country have ever had a jury trial. So it's quite wrong to say that everybody in this country has a right to a jury trial. A tiny, tiny percentage of them do. So what we're really looking at here is working on the fringes of the justice system, which aren't working. And as Eamonn says, we have 80,000 victims in a queue now. That is what we have to try to address.
And the other thing, Rad, is what about people? It's a huge inconvenience for most people to be called to take part in a jury.
Yeah. Eamonn, the system doesn't work. And what you usually see in these debates, unfortunately, on the other side, is a lot of emotion and hysteria and trying to hold on to something that they think is at the heart of our justice system.
Okay.
It just isn't.
Rad and Suzanne, we've got to leave it. We're out of time. Love to hear what you... I know, Suzanne, you're nodding your head. I know exactly what you're thinking there. But look, the thing is, folks watching and listening at home, have your say. Get in touch. Have your say. We'll reflect it in the programme. We say goodbye to Rad and Suzanne there.
Thanks, you two. Now let's have a look at the traffic and travel update.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A76 is shut down at Bowhouse Crossroads due to flooding. On the M4 eastbound between junctions 24 Coldra and 23A Mega, delays are due to an incident. In Greater London, the A13 eastbound is blocked after a collision, with normal traffic expected around midday. In North Somerset, on the M5 southbound entry slip at junction 19, a police incident has closed all lanes, with normal traffic expected later this morning. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast warns of potential disruptions due to poor weather, and East Midlands Railway reports issues between London St Pancras International and Luton. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Good. We'll just tell you that it's sport up next and football results and all that sort of thing with Paul Coyte. Please don't go away.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, DC.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Bold. They are under no illusion.
Ray,
are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline.
Should we be worried about it? From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community.
So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, though.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
We're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. It's sports time. Paul Coit is here with us. Morning.
Good morning.
F1?
Yes, Lando Norris could have been the world champion yesterday.
But he's not.
But he's not. Let down by bad decisions from McLaren yesterday and only managed to finish fourth. I mean, they were in control and then Norris dropped from second to third at the start. I don't really go into F1 too much, but it's all getting a bit exciting now because we're getting down to the very last race, which is in Abu Dhabi, which is next year. Next week.
Weekend.
And
You're getting us to
I'm getting ahead of myself. Any one of three could win it. Now, Oscar Piastri led, then Norris. They were told not to go into the pits when there was a safety car, which basically meant that they lost. Then they lost where they were, and then you get Max Verstappen wins the race. Now, I can tell you though, is that there we are. There's the McLaren boys there. If Lando Norris comes first to third next week, he will be the champion. Fourth or fifth, champion, unless Max Verstappen wins. Sixth or seventh, champion, unless Verstappen or Piastri wins. So it could be one of the three. So it all goes down to the wire, and at least it makes it exciting.
That is exciting.
It could be one of three who will win and then become the drivers' champion. So that's good to know.
Excuse me, put this way.
Are you cheating for the birthdays?
No, it's not.
It's not birthday cheating, is it?
No.
Are you not?
He's been told. He's upset because he's been
No,
told
I'm
not.
not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I didn't identify a picture of someone. If it's any of your business.
Oh, that's why we're Googling the next birthday.
Well, this is not your own private time, I'm afraid. It's not your own private
I just
time.
thought him cheating for the birthdays. I think we'll have to take that one out.
And it wouldn't be like you, would it? Behind my head every day, giving signals to him as to what it's going to be. And I'm thinking, I never say a word about it, but you cheating every day.
But you know who these people are, and I don't.
But the thing is, you don't know who anybody is.
In the sporting world, I don't know anything about sports. I think I do quite well, all things considered.
Yeah, as a cheat goes, yeah, you
Anyway,
do very
so we're going to put our phones away for birthdays. Sorry, Coity.
Right, so
Thank you.
what do you think? Shall we play birthdays?
Yeah.
I didn't realise this would be such a
I
bone
don't-
of contention. I thought it was just some fun.
I don't know if I want to play anymore.
OK, listen, you play and you enjoy it, both of
Okay.
you. Right, firstly, let's please have the first one. Oh, look, it's Neil Warnock.
Well,
Neil
Eamonn
Warnock. Now,
can
listen,
tell us.
before you guess, I sent a message to Neil Warnock because I was going to see if he would like to come on and play the birthdays with us. He said, Hi, Paul. Sorry, but I'm away without a signal. Thanks for thinking of me. I bet Ellie doesn't guess my age correct. I think you're right there, Neil.
No.
I'll give you a call when I'm back and do so and come on the show, which would be lovely.
You'd like Neil Warnock, Kelly.
Aww.
So you would.
He's lovely. He is.
I don't know if I'd like to play for him, but he's very
Well, that's
suitable.
it. I think if you work for him, I think you'd. But the thing is, you'd always do the right thing, though. He would never tell you off, would he?
Oh, I don't know what he tells everybody off.
Imagine
doesn't
you
he?
two going at each
Neil's
other.
a really approachable, sociable guy, really, really nice man who has to be in his 70s.
Right. So how old is Neil Warnock today, Eamonn? What do you say? Don't upset him now.
Well, he's 70, right? So he's 70. He's over the halfway mark.
Yep.
Right. So 76.
76. Ellie.
72.
77. Good guess.
Hey, do you remember that? 77.
Sunset Strip. Let's go for
Remember that one, Ellie?
Nope. Right over my head.
She won't play and she's not joining in.
I'm on
Right,
strike
let's
now.
go with another one. Now, come on. Just because he rumbled you. It's Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Oh, Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Gilbert O'Sullivan.
I saw recently on social media that he's on tour somewhere. I think Gilbert O'Sullivan's 80.
You think Gilbert O'Sullivan is 80, OK? What do you think?
86.
86?
90.
90? For come on,
90.
Ellie, come on. Play properly.
83.
79. 79 Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Wow. Did I get that right there, more or less?
79. It's very good. You've been on 1 year out.
Is that the same one?
No, that's not Gilbert O'Sullivan. That's Lee Trevino. Lee Trevino, one of the great golfers of all time.
Colour, incredible.
I know, but apart
His
from
hair
that...
is white as snow.
It is.
Yeah.
What
I'd say
golfer?
Lee Trevino's 85.
85. Oh.
86.
No. 86 is the right answer. I feel bad that you're in the lead because 1 year out. Go on, we got time for another one? Let's have another one. We got one more. We got one more? One more. OK, because it's very close. Let's go with Woody Allen. Shall we go? We got Woody Allen? Oh, there's Woody Allen. That's Bette Midler.
That's Bette Midler.
Bette Midler. How old's Bette Midler?
Bette Midler, never mind. Bette Midler, 70.
80. Forget that. Right, let's go with the next one. This is... No, we're going to leave her. We're going to go for Woody Allen. Why do I feel like I'm doing an auction here?
Woody Allen's 81.
81?
85.
90.
Oh.
90
I was going to say
today.
90.
Oh, we undercooked that.
The game is over.
Thank you.
Thank goodness.
I think everything's over, except what? All newspapers next.
Christmas?
Yes.
Papers?
Yeah.
What do you want to... Yeah. Anyway, it's a hot Christmas gift this year. We're going to talk about it in the papers with Chris Akabusi and Dawn Neeson. Look, complete with baubles. You can't need... Oh, look, and Dawn's struggling.
33, 47, 61.
We're chatting to them after the European forecast.
Dinner under the stars tonight?
That reminds me of our travel insurance.
You mean all clear skies?
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
Hi there. If you're off to the Mediterranean in the next few days, there will be a lot of dry weather to be enjoyed, but there will also be some heavy showers in places. And across Iberia and Madeira, we have got this cold front pushing through on Tuesday, so some gusty winds and heavy rain for a time. Thunderstorms following to Portugal as well. Otherwise, across the central Med, there will be some scattered heavy showers and thunderstorms, but mostly dry across Greece and Turkey. Some warm spells of sunshine here, and quite a changeable outlook for the rest of the week, but temperatures around average.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates,
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there.
Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace
Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News.
The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
So proud of GB News for getting, and Bev of course, for getting the interview. But the real important message from all of it was, of course, President Trump's attack on the BBC. I've been proven wrong because I tweeted a couple of days ago, it just shows how much I know. I tweeted that I thought President Trump might accept the apology from the BBC as an off-ramp and say, look, I want to be the nice guy here. I don't want to sting the great British public who, of course, pay the licence fee and who would ultimately be funding any settlement or court fees. So I thought he might use that as an off-ramp. But nope, we got into the Roosevelt room in the White House. Bev sat down with him. I was standing just behind Bev listening to the whole interview. And even before we went live with the interview and started recording, he was so shocked, angry, and more than anything, actually, confused as to why the BBC would behave like that. He just couldn't believe, not that, you know, on one occasion, fine, maybe it could be a mistake, but the second time, the Newsnight incident just proved that, in his mind, it was intentional, it was institutional bias. There's a clip there of, a photo, sorry, there of us in the Oval Office. It was an amazing experience, Nana, of course, just being in that room. Once we finished the interview, President Trump came over to us and said hello and asked if we'd like to see his office and the Oval Office. And yeah, stepping into that room, the history, you can feel it, the soul of the place, the grandeur, the gold as well that President Trump has installed all over the room. He's received some criticism for his use of sort of gold decor across the White House, but I have to say it was extraordinary. And it didn't stop there. He then invited Bev and I and some of the crew out onto the Rose Garden patio. There was American music playing, which was very funny. And we had a quick glimpse down at the presidential Hall of Fame, just from the top of the patio there.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, though.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Dawn and Chris are back to talk about stories making the news today, and we've got to say with both of them football fans, both of them West Ham United fans, and both of them in mourning for one of the West Ham greats, if not the greatest, you know, Billy Bonds. Who
when I heard the news, quite clearly, like the whole West Ham family, very, very sad. I didn't even know he was that unwell until I saw a social media post on Thursday, Friday. Someone said, get well soon, Billy. And then on Sunday morning, when it came out that he'd actually passed away. And on the one hand, yes, I was sad, but then I just remembered the fun and the elation of following him back in the 70s, early 70s. And on the terraces, I used to bunk into the North Bank then, and I know it's naughty, but there you go. Had no money. Bunked into the North Bank, and there was Billy Bonds, 6'2", eyes are blue. Billy Bonds is after you, na na na, and that was it. We were young kids, and he was a man's man. He's
799 games or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely incredible. He goes on to be a coach at West Ham, played until he was 41, and then he becomes the manager, Dawn, as well.
27 years as player and manager, the longest-serving player in West Ham's history. Obviously lifted 2 FA Cups, 1975 and 1980. I was there, lucky enough to be there watching both. Ironically, we're both North Bank kids back in the day, so for me, it feels like part of my childhood is gone. Does that make sense? And that's why I find it particularly upsetting, because like you, Chris, I mean, I remember watching him as a kid and just amazing, just an amazing player. They don't make footballers like that anymore. No. And I just remember with my dad watching him, and there's so much. West Ham are family. I know it's a cliche, but there's just so much wrapped up in the club and where we are now in particular. And I just really find this upsetting.
I wanted to say the juxtaposition for me as a kid and worshipping Billy Bonds, and then me as an adult, and I didn't realise it was that long ago, but 2019, when the Billy Bonds stand was open for him, and seeing Billy, I mean, he was such a gentleman in the, and he was crying.
I
was crying because the stand was made out for him. Yeah. And he was a man under the radar, didn't like to big himself up. Humble, that's the word, humble, and he was crying because the stand was up there.
He was in tears, and I remember sitting there, literally, because I sit in my seat is in the Billy Bonds stand and watching that, and he was so moved, and he was walking around with his daughters, and he's got 2 granddaughters as well, and he lost his wife the year after that as well. So.
Do you know what I'm going to say, though, Dawn? I think he represents football at a time when football was better. It was better to watch.
Absolutely.
It was more attractive. Maybe it's because I was 10 years of age and we were all young and whatever for that. But I just think it was a better game run by better people.
So, when I used to live in Enfield, I caught the bus, the 123 at Turnpike Lane, and on London Road, who alights onto the bus? Alan Gilzean.
Wow. Get out of it.
Alan Gilzean.
Before he was famous.
No, he was playing for Tottenham. Alan Gilzean gets on the bus, goes to Turnpike Lane, and then that's where they all get picked up at Turnpike Lane to go into Park Lane. All in their cars.
Oh, wow.
Alan Gilzean, number 7 for Tottenham.
Get the bus in.
I mean, you watch the clips of Billy Bonds and obviously Bobby Moore when they were playing for West Ham, and you look at the pitch, you look at the way they're playing. I mean, there's a great clip of Billy Bonds when he was a manager running down the touchline to tell Julian Dix off because he was ripping the head off of someone. You just don't get football like that anymore. The passion, certainly at West Ham.
Well, now, talking about looking at things, I'm going to show you a golden gladiator, right? So here it is. This is the gladiator, which was a promotional tool for the film Gladiator, right? So what's happened, Dawn? What's the story with this gladiator?
This is an anti-woke story. We should all be very happy about this one. It's a 20-foot nude statue, and it was banned by the local council.
Why?
Back in because you can see it's willy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I said the word willy.
Have they never stepped foot in a museum before?
No, not quite. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, it was banned because people. This is Wigan Council decision back in October 2020, and they banned it because they thought people might be offensive by the naked male form. But the owner now and the locals have said, no, we want it back. So Grant Adamson, who owns a vintage store, Grant's Furniture, Obscurities and Gifts at Bulldog Forge in Ince, has confirmed it is returning. So you can go and have a look at the golden statue in all its glory.
Maximus.
But it was more minimus.
The council won't ban it.
No, it's unbanned now, so it's
unbanned.
There. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, come on.
That is
a bit of a giggle.
Yeah.
It's a statue.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Exactly. But it's one of those stories about, come on, let's all get over ourselves. I mean, it's just a little willy, basically. What's wrong with that?
I mean, the Gladiator, when it came out, though, I mean, I can't believe that it's 25 years ago.
Yeah, thanks.
I watched it wall to wall. I mean, I must have had about 10 or 15 days where I watched it every...
Yeah.
I was doing panto, and I just couldn't... it was just an amazing film.
What were you in panto?
Everything that was naughty. I was King Rat's helper, John Nettles.
Oh!
I was a pain in the bottom. I know you can't believe that.
No, Paris
And you would spend your downtime watching Gladiator?
Yeah, so, in the half or between the two, matinee and the... I'll be watching.
But I would say that was the first time I was aware of Russell Crowe, and I remember sitting in the cinema thinking, "This is the new Richard Burton. This guy is so good, and his voice was so good."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've been a fan.
It looked good.
Fan ever since.
Do you like the reboot that was out last year?
No,
it wasn't as good. I did watch it. It just didn't even come close.
No.
So it did. Beautiful vocabulary and whatever in Gladiator.
It was enthralling, gripping. There's so many different facets to it.
Have you been a gladiator?
Yeah, I've happily been a gladiator.
Yeah, I think you could have been.
And the good thing about Gladiator, we who are about to die.
Well,
just see you in your helmet.
On that happy thought, we'll say goodbye to Dawn and to Chris. Thank you both. You've been marvellous today. Really, really do appreciate it.
Thanks, you too.
Here's a weather update. We're back after that.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather update from the Met Office. It's much milder out there today, but it's a wet and windy start to the week with coastal gales, and there's an amber warning for heavy rain in place across parts of Wales this morning. So a wet and blustery picture for many parts of England and Wales, southern and eastern parts of Scotland as well. That rain particularly heavy out towards the west. The higher ground of Wales and western parts of England could easily see 100 millimetres of rain by the end of today. That's almost half a month's worth of rain falling in some spots. Brighter for some across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Some sunshine here, but also a few showers. But it's the winds in the south that will also make it feel pretty unpleasant. Gales around the coasts. Despite temperatures reaching 13 or 14 degrees, it's going to feel pretty unpleasant. And there will be further spells of pretty heavy rain through the course of this evening, particularly across the West Country, parts of Wales as well. Those bright shades of colour on the map here indicate some really intense downpours, so some flooding on the roads and some transport disruption is quite likely. Do keep an eye on our weather warnings and leave yourself extra time for your commute home this evening. Something a little bit drier across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the day. Some clearer skies here too, but also the chance of some showers. Winds easing down across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will stay pretty blustery across many parts of England and Wales. Further spells of rain through the course of this evening, but the weather warnings will elapse as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And by the end of the night, the heaviest and the most persistent rain will probably be confined to some northeastern coastal parts of the UK. So turning drier and clearer, and a colder night to come, although generally speaking staying just about frost-free. Now for Tuesday, it's looking a lot drier and brighter for many parts of the UK. There will be some showers around, and those will be fairly frequent in some southern and western areas. The risk of some hail and thunder, as well as that across the northwest of Scotland, will have some fairly strong and blustery southwesterly winds. But eastern parts of the UK may well stay largely dry, with some sunny spells. And temperatures on Tuesday around average for the time of year, highs of 10 or 11 degrees.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for making us the fastest growing news website in the UK. We're truly humbled, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The M74 northbound is restricted between junction 7 and 6 due to an earlier incident. On the M4 eastbound, expect delays between junction 24 at Coldra and junction 23A at Mega. The M4 westbound exit slip at junction 17 is affected by a broken down vehicle causing delays. A collision on the A13 westbound in Greater London has led to full lane closures. The A23 northbound at its junction with the A230 is similarly impacted, with delays up to 40 minutes. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast is affected by poor weather, while cross-country faces disruption at Newport, South Wales. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's the big one. Your chance to win a whopping £85,000 in tax-free cash. The largest cash prize we've given away to date. That's like over £7,000 a month extra in your bank account each month for 12 whole months. That's a year of yes. Yes to holidays, yes to treats, yes to shopping trips, yes to home improvements. For a chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters. Real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact is Trump made a good start. No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel. You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Good morning. The Chancellor faces a sleaze probe as MPs double down.
Nigel Farage reports Rachel Reeves to an ethics watchdog. He says she misled you, the public, about the economy, and ministers are demanding answers.
The Prime Minister hits back at critics, insisting Labour's economic plan will take years to deliver.
Some breaking news for you. The Labour MP Tulip Siddiq is sentenced to 2 years in prison in Bangladesh. Now, this is over corruption allegations she denies. Siddiq's lawyers insist she was not given a fair trial.
Elsewhere, the Justice Secretary David Lammy is warned that limiting jury trials could undermine free speech. It's as the Labour government moves to cut the court backlog.
Birmingham and the bin strike. Agency workers have joined the picket lines, protesting over pay cuts of up to £8,000 for staff.
Well, here in Birmingham, a rally is taking place. This time, though, for the first time, agency workers standing side by side with council-employed bin workers as they take their message to the council, telling them to get back around the negotiating table.
Allowed into the grounds before it was private, so it's amazing now that it's been opened up for everybody to come in.
The transformation of the full estate is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Curtains from King Charles's Sandringham home are being turned into luxury stockings for a charity auction.
It's a wet and windy start to the week, but is the weather going to feel more festive in the week to come? Find out in your full forecast coming up.
It is a Monday morning. We are online, we are on radio, we are on television, and I'm Eamonn Holmes.
I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast. You are all loving the Christmas decorations in the studio today. May has been in touch saying, hi, Ellie and Eamonn. I watch GB News all the time, and I have done since it started. I'm a great fan of Christmas. I put up my tree yesterday. Your set looks great with all the decorations, and it's so patriotic.
And it's amazing to see and realise how it was constructed, because between midnight last night and us coming on air at 6 o'clock this morning,
the elves have been busy.
The studio was free, and the guys come in and decorate and do what they do, and they've done a very good job.
They've done an amazing job.
Get them round to my house now. That's what I'm going to need. Now, do you know what I've got? That I've got an electronic. Now, I've had a tree that has lights built into it before, which I quite like.
Pre-lit, yeah.
Right.
I want one of those.
You know, well, I didn't do that this year. I got a big. It's hard to explain, but it's a sort of cut-out LED display. So it's not a tree as such. It's not a real tree. It's not even a tree. It's just a picture of a tree, and it's all lit up, and Santa's on the side of it. And I've also got a snowman which lights up, and I've got another smaller tree for the hall which lights up. It's hard to explain.
So you've got like a projection of a tree?
No, I've got.
I'm so
it's
lost.
Like but it's like say that is a tree, right? Say that was big.
Yeah.
But and then you just press a button and it lights up. So it's not a tree as such.
Oh, I see.
It's like it becomes a tree.
I see. Oh, well, that's very modern of you.
I need to get
very creative.
I need to get a picture.
When did you get that?
The weekend.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
very modern. Very modern.
That's me.
Well, let us know if you put the tree up this weekend. I know lots of people did. Hetty's been in touch to say, I love your trees and decorations. Very traditional and patriotic. Lots of you saying that. And Heather says, oh, just to say how uplifting that interview was with the two men talking about Christmas lights for veterans.
Yeah,
it was so refreshing.
That's in Bristol. Just ask them where the Christmas tree house is in Bristol. The Christmas lights.
Church Road, wasn't it?
It's like 10 billion lights or so attached to it, so it's absolutely incredible. And it's the taxi charity for military veterans. You'd be going along and supporting them. If you want to do that, they're looking to raise about 15,000 quid.
Yeah.
4 minutes now past 9 o'clock. Top story is
the cross-party politicians are calling for an investigation into the Chancellor over claims that she misled the public about the state of the public finances.
Rachel Reeves denies being overly pessimistic to justify tax rises. She said these tax rises were necessary. However, the Office for Budget Responsibility disagrees. They confirmed there was actually a surplus of public funds, not a deficit.
Well, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage says that the Chancellor should be investigated now for potential breaches of the ministerial code.
Here to explain more, our political editor. We say hello, good morning and welcome to Christopher Hope. What hope has Rachel Reeves got, Christopher, of turning this around and getting people to actually believe what she says? I saw her being interviewed live yesterday morning, and she sounded convincing. She sounded as if she totally believed in the situation. She sold it well to me, but I haven't found anybody else who said, yeah, she's done the job.
Yeah, morning, Eamonn, morning, Ellie. I think that's a good summary of yesterday's performances on the broadcast networks from Rachel Reeves. Essentially, she had $4 billion in her headroom, in her rainy day fund, not $9.9 billion. And she said she wants to increase that $4 billion to $20 billion. Therefore, she raised the taxes. That means $16 billion more. But she also made choices which she didn't have to make. She chose to lift the two-child benefit cap, other areas too, lifting, of course, the living wage. These are choices she made. She says it's by necessity. Some would say those are choices. And the point was that going into this budget, including the press conference, which very rudely interrupted your breakfast show about 3 weeks ago. I mean, she was trying to set the scene there for some big tax rises that weren't actually necessary, but the OBR forecast at the time. And a lot of journalists, MPs, other parties are upset because they feel misled. Now, today, Sir Keir Starmer will be giving a speech you'll see it live on GB News. I'm heading there straight from here to there. He will say there that he wants to reform the welfare state, and that's what renewal demands, he'll say. Any Labour government worthy of the name cannot ignore that. But the question I've got for him is, why should we believe you? Why should we believe you want to do that when your Chancellor can mislead us all about the state of the finances for weeks and weeks and weeks going into last week's budget.
And really interesting, I thought, yesterday, Chris, with the Chancellor speaking to the media, as she implicated the Prime Minister in whatever decision she made. She said he knew about all of this and he backed her. So essentially, the two of them are a partnership.
Yes, they are, even though they're not as tight maybe as Gordon Brown and Tony Blair back in the day, David Cameron and George Osborne. But yes, they are absolutely a partnership. I think their fates are interlocked together, like often is the case. Now, she's due in Wales today. She won't be with the Prime Minister today. But the PM coming out to speak today, I think, is a sign of concern in Number 10. They've got to get back on the front foot. The concern we had at GB News last week, and of course we weren't able to put those questions, well, I wasn't able to on the Wednesday, but you did on your breakfast show on the Thursday, Ellie and Eamonn, is simply this, why are you taking money apparently from working people and giving to people who aren't working? Now, the government says that only 4 in 10 of those on universal credit aren't working, but the point is the same. Why are you taxing working people when you want to grow the economy and giving to people who are being less productive? How does that work?
I'm just sitting thinking, how does it work? Hard to answer it, Christopher, hard to answer it. But thank you very much indeed, my friend. We'll leave it there. Thank you. We're going to talk about a story now where I think if Rachel Reeves had got up on her feet and said, I'm doing this with the money that I've raised, and that is paying it to the bin workers in Birmingham, I'd have said, yeah, that's fair. That's a good idea. That's something useful and practical that governments or politicians in general could be doing and helping out. Am I just alone in this? I'm thinking, right, do something that's useful. Do something. Birmingham hasn't got the money. Why don't you come up with the money for this? You cannot say to a bin worker, we're going to take 8,000 quid off you. And then we expect you to get on with your job. I mean, that's not going to happen. So it's just ridiculous.
Well, Adrian's been in touch saying, I was 4 years on the bins. It was really hard work. You go out in all weather. I'd still be on the bins now if it wasn't for a chance meeting. It changed my life. But the money was poor, and it probably has not improved much since I left.
Well, you know what? I worked as a bin worker for a TV programme for 2 weeks in Belfast. And I'll say this. Everybody was happy in their job. Everybody kept thinking, what? And when they would do things like they would eat food in the cab or whatever of the bin lorry. But people were really happy. I'm sitting just learning all the time. They loved their job, and there was a lot of respect from people around the place for them and what they were doing.
There would be.
Do you tip your bin men at Christmas?
I do, and I give them chocolates.
Yes.
And also, when I think about my bin men that come round, they're good mates.
Yes.
You can tell they are. There's a camaraderie there.
Yes, and if you're nice to them, they'll take a wee bit extra.
Do you tip your bin men?
Yes.
Good.
I think they're so important, and I think the whole idea, just while we're on the subject of tradespeople who work for you, your postman, your binman, your milkman, all those sort of things, it's important, I think, to recognise at Christmas and say, here's a tenner, here's a fiver, here's a box of chocolates, or whatever the heck it happens to be. We should do all that.
The season of giving. Isn't it?
Let's give the time now to Will Godley, who's with the picket line in Birmingham now. And the thing that's different today, Will, is this is agency workers who are joining these picket lines. And by agency workers, we mean people brought in to actually fill the gaps left by striking workers. You tell us more.
Yeah, Eamonn, Ellie, good morning to you from Birmingham. It's been described as an unprecedented situation, and what's happening behind me is a rally has just begun. The workers who are here today would normally be working at the bin site where this rally is taking place, but they are here today united together. They are council workers, but for the first time today, agency bin workers as well, who were brought in by the council to cover those striking, but now joining them for the first time today due to what is being claimed of bullying environments at the council. They are refuting those claims. But I can speak now to someone who's been on strike since the very beginning for nearly a year now, Danny Taylor. You went on strike when the council told you you were going to be paid £8,000 less. You're still on strike. Why do you think it's important to do so?
To strike?
Yeah.
So we can stop employers attacking workers' wages, workers' rights, and, we all deserve a fair wage for a fair day's work.
And you told me you've worked for the council for 25 years. The fact that you're still on strike after a year, they're clearly not listening to you. How does that make you feel?
I feel betrayed, you know, for a company that I used to work for, well, still work for, and I used to respect them, you know. I was proud to work for the city. I feel betrayed by Birmingham City Council from the way they've not only treated me, but my fellow comrades that are on the line with me today.
And how does it feel for the first time to have agency workers standing side by side with you as a council worker?
You know, it's great that we've got agency workers coming out of us now. Solidarity is our strength, and, you know, if we all stand together, we can win this.
And Danny, you're going to be taking the march today from outside the bin depot here to the council building into town. What's your message to the council today?
It's simple, really. Get back round the table with us, let's get negotiating, and let's get this strike done, not for the workers, but also for the people of Birmingham.
And you're also a representative of Unite the Union here. The council say that they have given a number of offers to Unite that have been rejected. How close are we to these strikes coming to any sort of resolution?
Well, you know, this is all down to Birmingham City Council. We're ready to negotiate any time, anywhere. So the sooner Birmingham City Council get round the table, the sooner this strike ends. It's as simple as that.
And for residents of Birmingham worried that their bins aren't going to be collected now as agency workers join the strike, what would you say to them?
I just want to apologise on behalf from me and all my fellow comrades on the line. We're sorry for the state that the city's in. We don't want it to be like this. Our families live in the city. We just want to get the strike done and get back to work.
Well, Danny Taylor, thanks for joining us on GB News this morning. I can tell you that we've heard from Birmingham City Council. They have told us those allegations of bullying that the agency workers claim they are refuting. They said that those claims are unfounded. And due to the strike action today, they said that they are disappointed the dispute has not been resolved and that their contingency plan is in place to continue rubbish being collected and ensure that people keep having their bins collected once a week here in Birmingham, as residents perhaps today worried that agency workers joining the strike, it could be meaning that rubbish is piling up and the city going back to how we saw it a year ago with rubbish on the streets absolutely everywhere.
Thanks, Will. Thank you very much indeed. I think that agency workers going on strike is an amazing change in what's going on there.
Unprecedented, they're saying.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, the council can say all they want, but they've got to settle this. Somebody's got to settle this. Maybe central government should be settling it. Somebody's got to get involved. Your views very welcome. 14 minutes past 9.
Yep, and it's time now for our daily reflection.
The GB News Advent Calendar, Day 1.
My name's Marcus Mack. I'm a vicar in the Church of England. Is it possible to be spiritually fast asleep? When I lived at home, my mum one morning was so surprised that I'd managed to sleep through the night while a helicopter was hovering over our house and police cars with their sirens on full blast was down our road. I was skeptical at first because I didn't believe I could sleep through that kind of disturbance. I was alive, but completely asleep to the presence of police. Is it possible to be completely asleep to the presence of God? To be so asleep that skepticism becomes the air we breathe. In the Bible, many people were in the presence of Jesus, but were asleep to his true identity. With the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ this Christmas, we are reminded that God came in human form to disturb us from spiritual sleep. He came to wake us up so that we could know the presence of God in this world. The night is nearly over. Jesus came to wake us from slumber. So let us discard the deeds of darkness and walk in the light of Christ.
And that was a special daily reflection because it is, of course, the first day of Advent. So very special to have that today. And we're going to have a special Advent calendar all the way up to Christmas Day here on GB News.
Oh, how special is your Advent calendar going to be?
Oh, I've got an Advent calendar. I've got two, actually. Have you got one?
No.
I'll get you one.
What would be in it?
Well, do you want a traditional one with pictures or do you want chocolate?
I'll do whatever's right.
I'll see what I can find for you. But chocolate, I think, is
Curtains for all of us today, because King Charles is giving them away. He's taking his old curtains, and some people are making stockings out of them. I kid you not, but it's all for a good cause. Tell you what it is after this.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience, because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
No,
isn't it?
no,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
So here we are, the first day of December. This is when people really start to feel Christmassy. And we're doing that exactly for you, because we have got not just a great British giveaway, but a brand new seasonal one. Could be yours.
It's the greatest cash prize of a Great British giveaway so far. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash to spend on anything you like, making 2026 your greatest year to date. That could get you that brand new car, extend and improve your home, take you away on that bucket list holiday, or just give you some peace of mind over the coming months. For a chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Right, thanks to your views coming in today, 21 minutes past 9 o'clock. And what are people talking about, Ellie?
May's saying the set looks great. Love the breakfast programme as well. Everything's looking so patriotic and beautiful. Lots of you getting in touch on juries and getting rid of juries for most trials.
Susan's actually done jury service. I'm saying a lot of people can't stand it and want to avoid it. She says she's done it twice. She's self-employed. She got no recompense, which a lot of people complained about. At the end of it, apparently, you get expenses.
Yeah, it's like £12 a day or something.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
Nothing.
You're doing transport
but
and
it's
lunch
your
and
wonderful duty. How can you afford to take 3 or 4 weeks off work?
Well, people can't.
To do that.
£12 a day.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Just get a judge sitting there.
I know, but then you've got you've got somebody like, let me find this one. Oh, Nicholas saying a verdict should be clear without any shadow of a doubt. Would you trust your own neck to a noose held by Lammy? Ask yourself why people from around the world choose an English court under English law. To change the Magna Carta and the rest is one step on a road to a very dark place.
Miriam and Andrew, they're up next. And what have you got, guys?
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, we've got lots, of course, on this developing story about Rachel Reeves, Keir Starmer, but the Prime Minister is hoping to restart. Will this be restart 4.0 or something this morning?
I'm looking to have a laugh. I watched her yesterday morning and I thought, she sounds convinced. She seems quite believable. I know Andrew's going to tell me off for that. What did you think about her?
I thought she sounded... I think she looked vulnerable, fragile, and I think she's in a hell of a political mess. Big mess.
Yeah.
You've got 2 cabinet ministers quoted on the front page of the Times today.
You've also got a story about Peppa Pig, apparently.
Well, yes, hopefully. So this Centre for Social Justice released a report last week called Men in Culture, and it's looking at how men and boys are portrayed in the media and in advertising now compared to 25 years ago. And one of the conclusions is that a lot of men in culture are just portrayed as either abusive or losers. Daddy Pig is a bit of a loser. He can't do anything. Mummy Pig even has to put pictures up. So we're going to be talking about that. And
we need to go to the weather.
Thank you very much indeed. We'll be...
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good morning and welcome to your latest GB News weather update from the Met Office. It's much milder out there today, but it's a wet and windy start to the week with coastal gales, and there's an amber warning for heavy rain in place across parts of Wales this morning. So a wet and blustery picture for many parts of England and Wales, southern and eastern parts of Scotland as well. That rain particularly heavy out towards the west. The higher ground of Wales and western parts of England could easily see 100 millimetres of rain by the end of today. That's almost half a month's worth of rain falling in some spots. Brighter for some across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Some sunshine here, but also a few showers. But it's the winds in the south that will also make it feel pretty unpleasant. Gales around the coasts. Despite temperatures reaching 13 or 14 degrees, it's going to feel pretty unpleasant. And there will be further spells of pretty heavy rain through the course of this evening, particularly across the West Country, parts of Wales as well. Those bright shades of colour on the map here indicate some really intense downpours, so some flooding on the roads and some transport disruption is quite likely. Do keep an eye on our weather warnings and leave yourself extra time for your commute home this evening. Something a little bit drier across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the day. Some clearer skies here too, but also the chances of some showers. Winds easing down across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but it will stay pretty blustery across many parts of England and Wales. Further spells of rain through the course of this evening, but the weather warnings will elapse as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And by the end of the night, the heaviest and the most persistent rain will probably be confined to some northeastern coastal parts of the UK. So turning drier and clearer, and a colder night to come, although generally speaking staying just about frost-free. Now for Tuesday, it's looking a lot drier and brighter for many parts of the UK. There will be some showers around, and those will be fairly frequent in some southern and western areas. The risk of some hail and thunder, as well as that across the northwest of Scotland, will have some fairly strong and blustery southwesterly winds. But eastern parts of the UK may well stay largely dry, with some sunny spells, and temperatures on Tuesday around average for the time of year, highs of 10 or 11 degrees.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you so much for helping us to reach 8 million followers and subscribers across our social media channels. That's 8 million fearless Brits standing up for what really matters.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Motorists on the M80 northbound may face delays at Junction 8 due to a road traffic incident. The M4 eastbound between Junction 24, Coldra and Junction 23A, Mega, is recovering from an earlier accident. A road traffic collision has closed one lane on the M42 southbound between Junction 2 and Junction 1 in Worcestershire. In North Somerset, the M5 southbound entry slip at Junction 19 remains closed due to a police incident, with all lanes affected. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast reports poor weather may impact journeys, along with cross-country disruption at Newport in South Wales and Doncaster. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
People are getting married less because, society has changed. People are simply becoming more secular. And because they're becoming more secular, they don't view that marriage is a divine religious institution, and that more and more people have turned away from God, and because they've turned away from God, they don't view, the institution that has been the bedrock of society. So society has changed. People have moved away from religion or organized religion, and they just don't view it as a bedrock of religious religious growth. People don't think getting right with the Lord Jesus or having a pastor in their life as part of their marriage. Also, younger people today care more about their careers. They care more about financial stability. They care more about, having their own lives and their freedom than traditional marriage than it used to be. So it's just a big change of society today.
And Charlie Downs, does that matter? Are there negatives to being focused on career and choosing to shack up as opposed to get married in church?
Very much so. I mean, I like to think that I am slightly swimming against the tide because, there we go, I got married at the beginning of last month, and I'm 24. Aww. And the last time that the average age of marriage in this country was 24 was 60 years ago. The average age of marriage now is about 33 years old, which is a historic high. And I think this is largely because of the reasons that Pastor Mark outlined just now, which is that we don't actually understand as young people what marriage is.
GB News, the People's Channel.
All too often, people will be sitting at home watching a press conference live, and they'll hear loads of questions being asked, and they'll be thinking, that's not my question. That's not my concern.
We don't care whose feathers we ruffle. We ask the questions that you want answering.
You're all standing on the street protesting and want to have an open discussion.
My name is Patrick Christys. I do a show for GB News in the UK. Is it possible to talk to you quickly?
Journalism in this country has been a cosy world full of groupthink until now.
Well, this is the best view ever of Whitehall, looking out across all the tracks.